again, tech is our friend. I am going to figure all of this out. So YouTube and my Facebook page, give me 1 second. We're going live in the group where we're supposed to be right now. Loading. Yay. Okay, so now we're where we're supposed to be. Hello. Welcome to, let me actually pay attention to you. Welcome to day 2 of Funnels to Fortune. This is a masterclass, and it is a masterclass because I am giving you multiple strategies. Well, not me, but all of my expert speakers are giving you multiple strategies on how to turn your funnels into fortunes way past the landing page. We yesterday talked about so many different strategies. I promised that each speaker was going to give you at least one actionable nugget strategy, whatever you want to talk about, that you could implement into your business. And they brought the fire because each one of them left at least 3 on the table. So today I'm putting a lot of pressure on my guests to make sure that we keep up with that momentum. And here's the other thing too. Tell me if you're watching this live or the replay. This is a beta test. This is the first time that I've ran Funnels to Fortunes, and today I spelt it correctly. So good me. But I want to know how I can make this better for you next time. It will come back. It's probably going to run through the end of the year. And each month there will be different speakers, different strategies. What is a low-hanging fruit for you? Yesterday we talked about AI, got a lot of fantastic ideas, a lot of ideas for future trainings. We also talked about Marketing Like You Matter, which dumped like 46 strategies that we can talk about. What else did we talk about yesterday? We talked about YouTube, which can solve all of your traffic problems, all of your sales problems. And we also talked about ads yesterday. Today, we're doing sales. We're doing Facebook group growth. We're doing incentive marketing. And we're also talking about launch strategies. So tons of information coming at you. And what I want you to take from that is absolutely do not go through these 2 days and try to implement every single strategy that you learn. First of all, I will have to punch you in the throat. You can't do it. You just can't do it. I want you to pick 1 or 2, and Laura's in the background laughing at me because I seriously will tell you to your face, don't do that. That's dumb. I'm telling you now, and I will tell you into your face as well. But Facebook's probably going to ban me because I said the thing I said. Anyway, we won't talk about that anymore. Except we will. I totally spent the last 30 minutes before I went live here just jamming out to Tones and I don't know if you know them, but you need to go check out her album that's called Welcome to the Madhouse because it is like my life. It is how I told my kids I wasn't going to claim Hot Mess Express anymore, but now I'm all amped up and we're ready to do all of the things today. It's going to be a great day. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. First, we're live through the whole day. You can upgrade to VIP to get the recordings. If you watched yesterday, you know that CT gave me a fantastic strategy that I'm going to implement so that for the next event, if you can't make it live or if you don't hit all of the sessions that you want to, for whatever reason, you're just not available, you're going to get a tool or a resource that will break all of the sessions down for you and then tell you if you have your AI twin, which if you don't know what that is, go back to yesterday and find Kathy Tarbox's session. But you can tell AI how to make it specific to you. So I'm going to give you the generic actionable steps and strategies, and then you can take it one step farther for AI to tell you what you need to do specific to your business goals. So that's really cool. VIP also has a lot of one-on-one and group Fix My Funnel time with me. This afternoon is a live real-time Fix My Funnel session. It is scheduled for 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central, and you can hop in. You will get the Zoom link. You have to be registered. I'll send out an email around 2-ish probably with the Zoom link. So make sure you're registered so you get that link. But hop in, share your screen, and we're going to fix your shit in real time. Whatever your questions are about your funnels. Maybe you need to brainstorm on a new strategy. Maybe something's not working your strategy is not converting the way you want to. Maybe you want to talk about your landing page. Maybe you have email questions. Literally anything related to the funnel. And as we talked about yesterday, your funnel is not your damn landing page. It is your customer journey from them learning about you, being curious about you, to becoming a client, and then becoming a raving fan and referring you to other people, because that is our ultimate end game. Anyway, that's later. Part of the VIP, like I said, lots of one-on-one time with me. You also are going to get a copy of Carol Law's book, Don't Suck at Business, which we talked about yesterday. And there's some other things too. What else? Oh, my husband gave me this. If you're new to my space, you may not know that I have some chronic pain, illness, blah, 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 blah. And I discovered this tennis. Did you know these things existed? They're just tennis balls, right? Not new. However, he gave this to me so that I could work on the strength in my hands. And I discovered in a very short time, I fidget a lot, and throwing this ball around and catching it, my arms don't work. But throwing this around is really helping in just the 2 days. So if you see me throwing around this ball, it's for health reasons. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to sit here all day. What else do you need to know before we jump into Facebook group strategies? I think that's it. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Laura. She is a dear friend. I love her dearly. And she knows her shit when it comes to using Facebook groups to grow your business. We are going to talk about ways that you can monetize your Facebook group. We're going to talk about when you should and shouldn't try to start a Facebook group, because I think a lot of people don't realize that it's more work than you think. And you need to know what that looks like beforehand. And we're going to just talk about whatever we talk about. So let me get her up here. Beep. Somebody is distracting me with texting. What's up, dude?
Dude, what's up? Happy Friday, honey.
Hello, welcome to Friday. Okay, so all of the things. First of all, tell me how you got started in Facebook group growth. You're a growth strategist, yes, and you figured out a whole lot of things. I always learn new things from you. But tell anybody who is not familiar with you how you got started on this journey.
Yeah, so I actually didn't know anything about Facebook groups other than I could learn how to make sourdough during the pandemic and find great recipes for my Ninja Foodie that I bought during the pandemic.
Okay.
Until my lovely VA Nina said, Laura, we really should look into opening a group for your target audience and go pull them out from other groups and cultivate your own audience and start building a relationship inside of your community. And I was like, what a great idea. So what did I do? I just didn't research anything. I did what she said to do because she's a very smart lady and I love her to death. And I opened up a group and I invited all 52 of my coworkers and some family members. And there we go. And I didn't realize that that wasn't the right way to go about doing it. So live and learn.
I was going to say, and how'd that work out for you?
You just don't sell to friends and family, right? Maybe a one-stop shop, but it wasn't something that I had fully understood the scope of at the time. And this was in 2020. So this is in October of 2020. So my friend said, yeah, we'll join your group. And then, crickets. We're all familiar with crickets. And it was a year later after I'd spent time learning from other women who had just blazed the trail and did what I was wanting to do and what my vision was for not only my community, but for my business as a whole. Then a year later, I came back and I started implementing those things. And that's when I started to kind of put the pieces together. And then the dominoes fall. And here we are 4 years later with a really kick-ass group of spiritual female entrepreneurs. So, yeah.
Oh, I meant to. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the comments on how you can get into that group later.
Okay.
Because once you hear some more from Laura, you are going to want to be in that group, especially if you are a woman in business, and most people watching this are. I love that group. I love how engaged it is. I know we're going to talk about monetizing your Facebook group. So I also love that. I don't know if I want to mention this now or later. So everybody knows that a lot of groups monetize by selling some sort of membership. Like you pay XYZ amount each month, and then you can share about your business. You can promote basically. That seems to be a big selling point in a lot of these groups, and if that's how they monetize. But I hate a lot of groups and have left a lot of groups that I was paying for that piece, that feature, that make it so hard to talk about your business. Like, yes, you're paying me for the right to be able to promote in your business, but you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't say this, you can't do that, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I can't keep track of all these rules. So I say all that to say that there are rules in Laura's group, but they're intuitive, right? Like they're the things that most people who are, I guess, like me and you, who are laid back and would expect in a Facebook group. But anyway, that could be a whole nother rant. Anyway, so where should we start? Should we start with, let's start at the beginning. At the beginning, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's pretend, I said this a lot yesterday. Let's pretend that I am somebody who doesn't have a Facebook group. I'm thinking about it. What should I know? When can I know that it's a good thing for me to do or not? I really want to focus on the or not. It's not a good idea for you. It's a waste of time because it is a strategy. And then go down that path. How's that sound?
That sounds good. And I think that's a really good starting point because a lot of my clients that don't have Facebook groups are like, okay, I'm gung ho, let's do this. And I'm like, whoa, Sally, let's pull the reins back here a little bit. Let's talk about what you think Facebook groups are for if you want to run one and what all that entails. Because you don't know what you don't know. And what I didn't know was that my group was going to be successful pretty soon after I started implementing the things that I'd learned from other people. So it's a good problem to have, right? But if you're not equipped to take on another full-time job or a pretty heavy part-time job, if you don't have a team to help you moderate, run this, do all the things, I want you to just kind of either reach out to me and let's talk about what you got going on, or brainstorm what it is you want to get out of your group. Like, why do you want to have a group? Who is it that you want to serve? Because I'm going to say this with love and grace, but you guys, your group is not about you. If you make your group about you, I have something to tell you. If you're the only one posting and you're the only one doing all the teaching and stuff, your group isn't going to be very engaged unless it's a paid group where people are specifically coming in to learn from you only. So I need you to understand that it's going to take a lot of work. You have to prep it. You have to have a lot of content ready to go. We need people to be able to interact with something as you're growing your group. You have to grow your group. These things take time, they take energy, and they take resources. So have a goal in mind. What is it that you want your group to do? Who do you want it to serve? And like, what's the overall, arching target that you want your specific group to be for? Okay. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can have a group. It doesn't have to be like your main forever group. A lot of times what's really helpful is if you're going to do, like, if you're launching, if you have a masterclass or you have a program or a course that you're getting ready to launch, it's kind of popular to have a pop-up group where it's specifically for that challenge, which leads into a webinar, which leads into a masterclass, which leads into your offer. And then you can shut that group down if you want to. You can archive it. You can pause it until you do your next launch and leave it at that. So all that being said, consider what your goals are before you even go to start a group.
Do you remember before I started Flab, which is Funnel Like a Badass? I think it was probably 2 weeks back to back. I think I interviewed you and then I interviewed our friend Lynette. And we, of course, you and I talked about Facebook groups. And then she and I got onto the comment or onto the conversation too. And I had been thinking about starting the group and knowing all the things that I know, because I've had several groups and I know how much work they are. And like, I just don't know if I have the time. And both of you, not in the same conversation, but the next week, you both told me the same thing. Like, you need a group, you need to get started, you know what you need to do, you have the perfect audience, blah, 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 blah.
I remember that conversation.
Yeah. So I did. And I do not regret starting the group. Like, I love my group. However, it is not my people, you people watching this live. I love when you put questions in the group, right? But I don't see a ton of those questions. I do feel like I'm the only person that really posts. And so I know that I need to do more work to create that engagement. So can we talk about some ideas and strategies on how to, if it's a free group, how to get people engaged so that you can turn it into a paid group later?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I turned my group into a paid group with less than 1,000 members. So I just want to dispel any myth that you have to have, 100 bajillion people in your group for it to be successful. And you have to have, 100 bajillion people in it to make money and do all those things, because you do not. I did not. A lot of people have smaller groups, are very successful. So let's just cut the fluff there.
And we are going to come back and talk about different ways you can monetize your group. Like, monetizing your Facebook group does not necessarily mean that you charge people to be in it.
Exactly. Yeah, perfect. Let's return to that. Let's revisit that later.
Yeah.
You need to have an engaged group because it's a community. Okay. And I think a lot of us are looking at the platforms as kind of one-sided, and your Instagram, it's going to be different the way that you treat, your TikTok, your YouTube. Facebook as a platform is a community-based platform, and your group is no different. So if you have a free group and you want to turn it into paid, you need to make sure before you're doing that you have engagement inside of your community. And that means you're going to have to ask questions. You're going to have to talk to your people. So when you're starting your group, or even if you have a group already established and you want to like re-zhuzh it and, breathe some life into it, you need to spend some time going in and talking to your members. But here's a really great strategy that I want to teach you. If you already have a group, go friend request the people that are coming into your community, because you already know that they're your target audience. If you're doing your due diligence and you're going and you're inviting people from other groups that are your ideal client, or if you don't know if they're your ideal client yet, because maybe you can't really tell from their profile and stuff like that, if they're your target audience, right, and you're inviting them in and you're approving them, send them friend requests and go spend 2 minutes, 30 seconds engaging on their content so that you can build that algorithm and that relationship, right? Because here's how our behavior is on social media, especially with Facebook, the Facebook platform. You do what? You wake up in the morning or whenever you go and you turn on your phone and you hit Facebook.
I wake up feeling like P. Diddy.
We're not going to go there.
I can't.
I'm not going to touch that.
Listen, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I got to go down the rabbit holes, especially when somebody says something and it perks a lyric in my brain, because that's how I communicate via lyrics. And my kid was, oh shit, what'd she say? She was talking to her friend, and I can't tell the story because I don't even remember which lyric it was. But she was trying to set her friend up to answer her question with the answer in a lyric, and the friend failed. And they're like, she's in her bedroom, I'm over here, the door is closed. I hear this conversation. The friend failed, and so I yelled through the door the correct lyric, and my kid goes, "Mom!" Well, you tried, she failed, so I fixed it. Anyway, I apologize.
We know all the lyrics, right?
Yeah, that's how else do you communicate with people if not via lyric? I mean, come on. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I really have no idea. That's a great post I could do in my group. Like, hey, answer this question with a lyric from a song from the 90s or 2000s. Like, that's a great engagement question to get people talking in your group, because music is everywhere and everybody can resonate with that, right? We can all connect with that. But those types of things that have really nothing to do with your business, who cares? We want people to talk inside of our groups.
Good job bringing it back
with each other.
Good job bringing us back to on point. Good
Yeah.
job.
And honestly, I forgot the question you asked originally, but we
No,
just
you were
roll with
talking about, you said, yeah, because I have that. I'm so sorry. You said you wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, and you
Yes.
get on Facebook and you scroll, and I interrupted your.
Yes, thank you. So
Yeah.
when you go to Facebook, we do not initially go into a group. I'll be honest, I'm guilty of this. I don't even go into my own group initially. I go, I scroll, I do the lateral move, I scroll, see what stories are going on I need to know about, and I scroll up and down, blah blah blah. If you are an admin of a group, or if you're a member of someone else's group and you're trying to connect with your target audience, if you're sending friend requests to the people that are maybe new members in that group, hint hint, go friend request your new members in your group, and then you interact with their content, what's going to happen is whenever you open up the Facebook platform as a whole, you don't have to necessarily be in the group to see that person's content inside the group. So if you were to open up your phone right now and you looked at Facebook, you aren't necessarily seeing my content that I put on my wall. You might see content that I'm putting inside of the Spiritual Female Entrepreneurs community without needing to go to the Spiritual Female Entrepreneurs community. So that's a great way to get more visibility and to get people coming back to your group and commenting on that particular post.
That's really good. I'm not very good at that. I do, when new people join my group, I do have it automated so that it collects the information for me.
Yes, good.
And part of my group questions, and maybe we talk about this too, but I tell people like the number one thing that I do is a lot of events. So if you want to stay up to date on those events, this is kind of something that we talked about yesterday too, on how to grow your list without expecting people to sign up for your newsletter that nobody's going to read unless it is an absolutely amazing newsletter. There are people that have that, but most people in this space are struggling with the newsletter thing. So instead of saying, join my email list, get on my newsletter, blah, 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 I tell them, have all these events. If you want to know about them, drop your email so that you stay up to date. That is the number one thing I feel like gets people on my email list, is just knowing that they're going to get invited to future events.
And you know why that is? Because you're offering them and you're giving them what's in it for them factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Not
That's why. So offer them something before we ask something of someone who probably doesn't know us at all, right? Most people that are coming into our group, that are coming into our funnels, that are coming into our world, they don't know who we are. So we really need to be of service and offer, give. Before we ask, hey, what's your email? Hey, give me this. Like, wait, huh? Who are you? Give something, be of service. What's in it for her? What's in it for him? What's in it for them? And then you're going to convert higher that way because they're like, oh, shoot, this is what I need. I could really use this right now. I'm down. It's not like they can't unsubscribe anyway, right?
Right.
I think we're all we know what's going on in the online space now for the most part. That's why you get so many people on your email list from your Facebook group alone.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, now that you have their email list, because heaven forbid, Facebook does what Facebook does, and Instagram does what Instagram does, insert eye roll here, and they have some shenanigans happen, and you're like, oh, shoot.
Now what?
Boom. You can still communicate and sell to them in the email.
We were talking about, and again, I took us off course because that's how I roll, but we were talking about engaging with new members. So we talked about that yesterday too. Your email list, make sure that you're figuring out a good way to give them something before you ask for that. Simple ways that you can do that, and then how to make sure that you continue to engage with those new people. So that's where I fall off. I might send a new person a message, but I am not really diving into them a lot. And I'm not consistently sending those new people messages. Like, I have this high ambition to send them a video message because I want to know, really, as people come into my group, I want to know where they are in the funnel process and how much time I can spend with them to help them get a quick win and for them to figure out how I can help them, right? So do I do that? No. What are some things that you do?
Well, wait a minute. You sent me a video message a while back.
Not
you?
Yeah, well, yeah. When I have events and things, I will send people who are active in my group, I'll send them video messages like, hey, I'm putting this bundle together. Do you want to participate? Hey, I have this event coming up. I would love to see you there. But I do not send those messages to new people in my group that I don't know who they are, because I don't feel like I've created a relationship. That's what I want to do better at, is creating more relationships inside the Facebook group. But
Can I give you a tip?
Uh-huh.
And this is where we overthink this, right? Just say that. Just be your charming human self. Make one video that's kind of like a template video and say, I know that we're probably just meeting for the first time, and I bet a lot of people aren't coming in with video messages into your DMs, but here's what I do, and I'd love it if you needed some help with X, Y, and Z. No worries, like no hard feelings if you get busy or my message gets lost. I understand. But if you do have 10 seconds to shoot me over this information, that'd be super cool. Also, welcome to my group. Let me know if you need anything else.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to oversimplify this. If
Nope.
you met me on the street, if you met me in the bank, if you met me in the grocery store, this is how we really need to be acting on Facebook and online. It's the same thing. It's just virtual, right? We're always doing this. Oh, I need to say this and this, and then I follow up with that. It's like, put the robot arms down, be loosey goosey, and just have a conversation. Say like, run your fingers through your hair and like just
wave your arms like you don't care.
Wave your arms like you just don't care, right? Can we just be humans? Because I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is what people have told me. Like, you all know I have my messy bun and I wear the same sweatshirt that my daughter bought for me, and it's very special to me. This is like dressed up for me.
I noticed.
People have told me again and again and again, the reason why they come to my group, the reason why they comment on my posts and that they purchase from me is because of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they feel comfortable with me, because I don't spam them. I'm just a normal, like, dorky middle-aged woman who has a bunch of kids, and I've got my ADHD runs my life, but I'm transparent about that, and they feel comfortable with that, right? That works because people resonate, and that's that attraction, that attraction marketing. Like attracts like. Just say that. It really gets to be that easy because people know that they can be comfortable with you.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And we're going to have a sales conversation later with Jana Niska when she comes in.
Love me some Jana.
I know, right? I talk to her in lyrics too. I don't say dude to her as much as I do to you. But that's a whole nother level of love. Anyway, this communication, when we're talking to people like they're people, and we're just telling people, I don't know, some feature of our group, like with this event, if I had done all of the promoting that I like to do for new events, because you need to market like you matter and take up space. Remember that from yesterday. I would have sent out video messages to people, and it wouldn't have been, this is where people feel where they get in their own heads, right? They're like, okay, I have a VIP, so I need to tell them that they need to upgrade to the VIP, and I need them to know that they can do XYZ, and I need them to know all the things. They don't need to know all the damn things, people. You just need to tell them one tiny little thing. Hey, I don't know if you heard, I'm doing this event, and I don't know if you're focusing on your funnels right now, or you're looking for a strategy to improve what you're working on, but I wanted you to know that this event is available for you. Would love to see you. The end. Goodbye. That's making an offer, guys.
It doesn't feel salesy, does it?
At all.
Hey, I have this thing. You in?
Yep. That's it. Just letting them know.
You just made an offer.
Exactly. And that was a big conversation that we had yesterday, making sure that you make offers every day. And you can make offers that are not sales pitches in your Facebook group every damn day. Mm-hmm. And you should. So should we move into monetizing your group?
I'd love it.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a couple of different ways that you probably, or you may not have thought about, that you can monetize your group. I know you have lots of ways that you're making money from your group.
Yes. So it's so funny that you said that. I'm going to show my little, I know it's probably backwards, but it says
4, make an offer. Yes!
I love post-it notes.
I love making offers.
Make an offer every day. So here's how we can monetize your Facebook group. Sometimes this takes some time. I'm not saying that you're going to make a sale today, but you could. One of the things that I really, really want to tell my clients and my audience is there's a little magical membership question. You only get 3. But when you are inviting people into your group and when people are finding you from the search bar and Facebook is promoting your group and saying, hey, here's a group you might want to join, one of the things you can do to monetize it right away is to offer perhaps a free call. If you're doing coaching, if you're doing consulting, if you have a service-based business, offer a call, tell them who this is for, what's in it for them, and then in the little parentheses, put a $sign and say, this is free for all my new members. Everyone gets one. Normally, this is valued at $297. I'm going to give you 3 strategies on how to get leads organically using your Facebook profile. And then, so basically what we're doing is that like buyer mindset, right? That consumer behavior. They're like, oh, shoot, she's giving me something for free. It's kind of a take it now or don't. And it's worth $200. I'm going to say yes to this. But here's where you can make this more like higher converting for you. Go into the Facebook settings, and instead of saying yes or no, you can change like the little checkbox. Like there's a multiple choice you can do. You can do the like a long what is it, like they can write an answer out, but do yes or no, but thank you for offering, right? Yes, DM me with the information. So what that does is when you get people that say yes, because you will, because people that are coming into your group know what your group's about. Funnel like a badass. I need help with funnels. If you were to say, hey, I can offer you a free 30-minute call or a free 15-minute call. Normally I do charge $100 for this. I'm going to give you 3 areas of opportunity where I can see that you can tweak X, Y, and Z to get more people on your email list and saying yes to your offers. And you let them say, yes, I would like that, because that's why they're in your group in the first place, hopefully, right? Then when you reach out to them, say, I'm going to DM you. Just so you let them know what to expect. You're getting those micro commitments, and you're also getting permission. Then when you go to DM them, say, hey, you take a screenshot, say, hey, just letting you know, I saw that you needed help with funnels or X, Y, and Z. I'd love to book a call with you. Then you book that call, and that's where you can talk about their goals. That's where you can pitch if you want to. That's where you can make an offer that's low, mid, or high ticket. You can monetize your group right from day one doing this strategy. That's just one way.
I love that you said micro commitments, because if you work with me on any kind of funnel strategy, micro commitments are what move the needle,
Yes.
right? Like you just real quick, let's pretend that we're talking about a landing page, and this goes with your Facebook funnel as well. But every little section that you have that you're telling your reader something about your offer, you need to make a micro commitment that goes along with that section. So there should be a button in every section that speaks to whatever you just addressed, because if that's the piece that they're like, yes, that's me, they don't need to be scrolling around looking for the button to click. So I love that word, micro commitments. Think about that. Every little step, every little new piece of information that you give somebody, make there be a call to action, and it can be super tiny. Just get them to say yes out loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what they're doing. They're pre-qualifying themselves, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And that makes it a lot easier. So that's one way you can monetize your group. And again, that's if you're offering like calls or doing one-to-one or whatever. Another way that you can do this is if you have a digital product, if you have, it can be any sort of a product or an offer. Like we said, make the offer every day. God dang blur. Okay. Make an offer, make your offer post. Let people know that this is your community and you're a businesswoman and you're in business to make money. Make your offer post. Pin it to the featured section. Right? Let people be able to purchase from you, because if you don't talk about your offers, do it in a way that feels good to you, they're not going to buy from you if they don't know that you have something to sell.
Mm-hmm.
right? It could be a $7 template. It doesn't have to be this big thing. But I'm going to tell you what, I freak out. I'm not even joking. I do this happy dance. If I sell a $9 or $17 product and I get that notification on my phone, if I'm dropping the kids off at school or I'm shopping at Costco, I lose my mind because I'm like, I'm not there to do it. And I'm still, it like pumps me up to want to feel that feeling again, right? It's like that instant dopamine hit, right? It doesn't always have to be these $5,000 packages, right? That's a whole other beast. But
So, what I just heard you say is you can use your Facebook group to push micro offers, and people will be more like micro, like less than $20 is what I consider a micro offer. Facebook group is a pretty good place to be putting those, and then of course you put them in your funnel and you push them into higher ticket things, your mid ticket and your high ticket and all of the things.
yes,
But
and you're
even
making passive income.
yes, that is the
Whoop
key
whoop. Yes,
right
passive
there.
income is great with your Facebook group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another way that you can monetize your group is to have a membership. And again, it doesn't have to be a marketing membership. I have one in my group because when I started my membership, it actually was brought to my attention and someone asked me to create this. I I wasn't actually going, just fun fact, I wasn't going to start even offering this until I hit 5,000. That was probably just a mindset thing that I was going through, but I'm like, wait a minute. There aren't a lot of spiritual and heart-centered and soulpreneurs that are able to share their tarot. They're not able to share their healing modality, their Reiki. They're not able to share their astrology stuff. So I'm like, wait a minute. I literally have a group called the Spiritual Female Entrepreneurs. And if you're into the woo and do, which Jana talks about a lot, I think I stole it
Yes.
from her, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And if you want to share your offers, and it's okay to make money in your business, especially if you're a spiritual woman, let me create this. So I did that with less than 1,000 members, and I sold out first day because I talked about it. I talked about my offer before I even had the thing ready to go. And day one, when we opened, which was almost 2 years ago, I think September 1st of 2022, boom, people were in. And I had like, I don't remember, 700 members or something like that. So that's what I did to monetize my group as a membership. But there are people that are doing memberships where it's like hot seat coaching. Maybe you can do whatever it is that you teach, right? If you teach funnels, you could have a membership where it's like $27 a month for one tier, or it's $97 a month if you want more one-on-one sessions with me. And you can teach 1 week, you can teach about this part of the funnel. And next week, you can teach this part of the funnel. Whatever you want your membership to look like, offer those lower ticket things to get people, like we were saying, into your higher ticket masterminds and coaching programs and group courses,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's the beauty of having your own Facebook group. These are your people.
Mm-hmm.
When we're out selling, if you notice, there's a big difference. If I'm trying to sell my membership in someone else's group, I don't make sales because that's someone else's group and they already have a membership. But if I invite someone into my group who is a heart-centered spiritual soulpreneur, a female entrepreneur into my group, and I'm like, hey, I have this. You can promote once a day, loosey goosey on the rules, but just keep it to one a day so we're not spamming our wall because we want to have a healthy group, right? Laura just can't be the only one saying, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. Boo, that'll kill your group faster than anything else, right? But now those people that are in my group are my audience, right? And I'm building connections specifically with them, sometimes one at a time, but they purchase from me because they know, like, and trust me.
So, what I just heard you say is if you have these group memberships, and I have several that you can promote. Oh no, did I freeze? Can you still hear me?
You did, but I can hear you.
Okay, yes. So I didn't get kicked out yesterday, but I did freeze quite a bit and I could still hear everything fine. So if I, for whatever reason, get kicked out, I'll be back. But I'm trying to stop my camera. What I heard you say is that if you have any of these memberships where you can promote in somebody else's Facebook group, don't start out the gate with trying to sell your membership. Invite them to your Facebook group, invite them to your community, wherever they can come in and learn more about you. And that's where you start selling your memberships and whatnot.
So much higher converting ways to do it than just selling in other people's groups.
Yeah.
right? And
I don't.
besides, it'll do you a favor too, because again, you can ask for their email address in the membership questions, but funnel people into your group. Freebies are the best for this.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
really are, because you're getting their email list. You're
Mhm.
getting, I'm sorry, you're getting their email, their name and their email address, so that you can continue to nurture them privately, right?
Fantastic. Yes, I occasionally will put a paid offer in any of those groups that I have,
I do too. Yeah.
but not very often. It's usually events. That's different. I mean, for me, I feel like that's different than trying to sell anything else, because they're usually, if it's a group that's for my audience, then I'll talk about that. But my actual offers, yeah, I try to keep that inside my own group because it just feels weird, even if I'm paying to promote. Because, like you said, they don't convert very much.
They don't convert very much, and also your hang time on that, like on that post, is going to go super quick, especially depending on the size of the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
another thing I was going to tell you. Like we talked about, size doesn't always matter
Yeah.
when it comes to Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Okay, because our group, we're going to hit 3,500 members. I consider that, a smaller group
Yeah.
compared to some of these behemoth groups that we know are out there. But my group is very engaged, and if you promote inside of my community, you're going to have a lot more visibility with other spiritual female entrepreneurs, because we're not drowning in a sea of promo.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is one of those instances where quality over quantity
Yeah.
is very, very, very true. And I've noticed that the when I'm being consistent in other groups, in my strategies there, I always focus on those smaller groups that I know are more engaged. The bigger groups are, sure, there's a lot of engagement, but also there's 900 posts a minute and shit gets lost so quickly. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
And the difference too, like promote below, promote below, promote below, promote below.
I don't
Wow.
do those
So in the
anymore.
smaller groups, you don't see that as much, because there's a strategy behind that too. I use that strategy as well to get people into my group.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
spiritual entrepreneurs, share your beautiful offers below. And then you get people that promote. I will go in, and it takes some time, but it's so worth it, because quality over quantity. And the women that I think would be a good fit for my community and that aren't already in, because I do check, and yes, it takes time, but again, it's so worth it. I invite them into my community. And guess what I've just done? I've made a little bit of a connection with a spiritual female entrepreneur. I let her know that I see her, and I'm growing my group with my target audience. It gets to be easy. It takes some time, but it's easy and it works.
Can we talk about this for just a second?
Yes.
So when you see that post, I want to make sure I understand what your strategy is for these posts. So first of all, I actually, whenever I see those promote posts, I quit posting on them because I'm like, nobody's really going through it. But if I understand what you're saying, you promote whatever in those posts, and we're talking about other groups, right? Not your own.
Correct.
Okay, because there's a whole nother strategy that I feel like in your own group when you do those. And maybe we have time to talk about that too. But in other people's groups, you go through the comments, you find the people that look like they'd be a good fit for your Facebook group, and then you invite them to your group.
If I make a promote below post, and I'm talking about the ones where I'm the author of it and
Oh,
I'm posting to the main wall, and I say, drop your offers, share your freebie. What are you selling this week? Right. So you're promoting below essentially.
your post.
Yes, on my post.
Okay.
That is an opportunity, because I'm a paid member in that group. That's an that's kind of a it's inviting me to be able to respond and comment back to everyone that comments on my post.
Mm-hmm. When
Right?
Facebook tells you you
There's a
can't see my
whole
face.
new issue going on with the spam, and I'm moderating a pretty big group, and it's kind of a nightmare right now, but
Yeah.
we're going to navigate through that. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Um, but here's another thing with that. Don't just drop a link and run.
Oh God.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if we know what Facebook doesn't want, then don't do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
But that's another conversation for
I know.
another.
I wish you could see my face because I'm pretty vocal about how I feel about Facebook notifications
Yeah.
and their selection in the notifications they tell you and they don't tell you. And I feel like in 2024, when somebody comments on your stuff, that should be a pretty high priority for Facebook to tell you.
It
And
should.
yet,
And that's why I made this tracker that I want to offer to your audience, but we can talk about that later. But
okay,
let's get back real quick to the promote below posts. You can go,
yeah.
if I'm saying, hey, promote below, and you comment, I can go back and interact with those commenters, right? I can click her name, I can go see her profile and see if I think that she would be a good fit for me to invite her to check out my community, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to just spam her with a link. I don't just have to say, hey, buy my thing. No, no, no. We're building authentic relationships. We're building genuine connections. And yes, this does take time, but you will monetize if you do these things. It might take you a week, it might take you a year, but you will monetize when you make these connections. Now, in other people's groups, when they are dropping the promote below posts, and I'm not the author, you can still go into the comments. And what I do is sometimes I'll drop something just to boost my friend's post. If she's posted, that's fine. I like to help out. But you're not helpless. You can go in and read the comments because if people are promoting, people are telling you what it is they do and who they help. They are giving you a direct line to find your target audience. So light bulbs should be going off in your head right now. Why do you think there are so many promote below posts? It's because the author wants to funnel her in to her Facebook group or to her masterclass or to her thing, right?
Yeah.
Or you can go in and say, all these people right here are telling me if they are my target audience. And you can go and engage with their comment as well. Do not spam another person's post,
Oh,
but
dear
you
Lord.
can, right? Just full disclosure here, I would never ever tell you to do that because we're better than that, right? But
Right.
if someone, if all these women are saying, um, I teach funnels, I teach lead gen, I teach Facebook groups, I teach Pinterest, and you're like, I have a group for Pinterest. Let me go make friends with her. Let me go talk with her. Let me go click on her profile and connect with her content. That's something that you can do in those promote below posts. So we already know you do not expect to make a sale. Do not expect to get any traffic if you drop your comment in the promote below post and run. We already know you're not going to get any traffic. So now that we're equipped with that information and that knowledge, what can we do instead? How can we look at these posts to be beneficial to us? That's one way you can do that. So again, funnel them into your group, offer them a free call, offer them something for free. If you offer them a freebie, give them that freebie. On that freebie, I want you to have a low ticket offer, like a no-brainer offer, something that's under 20 bucks. Like JKN said, you can monetize that right away. If you're bringing people in and you have 10 people that are coming in a day, or one person coming in a day, or 100 people coming in a day, and you're offering them something for free with a low ticket offer, the chances of you selling something sometime is going to be better than if you don't make that offer at all. There's lots of ways that you can make money in your group.
Love it. Lots of ways. There's a million ways to $1 million, friends. Okay. Allison is backstage waiting to pop up here, and we're going to talk about launch strategies and all things I love to talk about. But let's talk about your gift. What do you have for the people watching this? And you're going to have to send me the link again because I closed the last chat.
I got you. I can even drop it in the chat if that's okay because I'm inside the Facebook group.
Please.
This is called my Evos tracking sheet. And if you're not familiar with Evos, it's engagement, value, offer, and story posts. So I created a really pretty, aesthetically pleasing Google Sheet where when you are making posts and putting content in other people's groups and your own group, what you can do is write the name of that group, copy and paste that link right into this tracking sheet. That way you can refer back to it and see what you posted, when, and where. And then you can just tick the little boxes where it's like, I made an engagement post in the Women Helping Women group yesterday. So I think today I'm going to make a value post and share my best tips and tricks that day. Or I've already done that Monday and Tuesday, so I'm ready because I had some engagement on those posts the last couple days. I'm going to put my offer post, my promo post inside of this group. So it's like a real quick glance. You can see what you've posted where. So if you're having like a content strategy, or if you have a VA or a team member that's helping you with this, or if it's just you're a one-woman show, you can directly see what it is you've posted where, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Oh, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Is that a P. Diddy line? I don't think that is.
No. I
He's
mean, I would be
in a lot of
surprised.
trouble right now.
I don't know.
Anywho,
That's not even what is that song? Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Who
okay,
sings that song?
that would be Miss. Oh my God, what's her name?
My husband says that it's Black Eyed Peas.
It's not Black Eyed Peas. It's the blonde girl. I can't remember her name right now. Okay, I just dropped a link. I'm not even sure if this is the right link.
I feel like Allison knows in the background. I feel like she's like, it's this person.
I don't remember her name. And I'm hoping that I dropped the right link. Kesha.
Okay.
It's Kesha.
Okay.
Okay,
I hope
drop the link to something.
I hope that lyric knowledge, you'll write that down and you use it in the future, because that's definitely how you should be communicating with your people. Is lyrics. Okay.
I dropped the right link, so go grab that. It's free. Usually that's a low ticket offer that I have on my, it's a paid offer, but I want you guys to have that. So you're not like, what did I post? Where did I post? Did I post? Keep track of it. It takes 2 seconds to do. That's my gift to you guys.
It's amazing. I already saw it and I'm really excited about it. So thank you for that. Okay. Last thing. If you're watching this live or the replay, if you have any questions about Facebook groups, feel free to drop it in the comments. But Laura, let's go back to pretending that I do not have a Facebook group. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am thinking about having a Facebook group. What would be your final thoughts? The first thing that you would tell somebody to do if this is the strategy that they're going to lean into after this masterclass ends?
I want you to write down who it is you want to serve, what your goals are for your community, and how you plan on growing that group, and how much time can you really dedicate to spending nurturing the people inside of that community. So that's a great place for you to start. Once you have all of those ducks in a row, start talking about your group and inviting people in. You can even say it's a brand new group. Don't be afraid that it's a new group. Say it's a new group. A lot of people love to join new groups because they know that they're going to get more time and attention from you. So be open and honest about it, but know what it is you want to have your group do, who you want it to serve, and please do not just let everybody into your group, because guess what? You're going to have to deal with spammers, and that takes more time than it's worth. That's why my group isn't massive. I'm very selective with who I allow and approve into my community. So that's a great place to start. And then put some content in there. Let people have something to comment with and engage with. Ask some questions that get people talking in your group.
That's great. Fantastic. I would love to know in the comments what if the Facebook group strategy is something that you're going to dive into, what piece has been most helpful today. And I'm sure that Laura would love to know that too. But again, this event is a beta test for us. So we're trying to figure out what you guys need in your business to move forward. And I don't know, in July, whenever we do this again. But Laura, thank you so much. As always, I have loved our conversation. You've given me some things to think about too. And that's Miley Cyrus. It wasn't Miley Cyrus.
It's Kesha.
It's funny. That's there's a private chat in StreamYard. And I now see that Allison's guest was Miley Cyrus. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna switch out.
Okay. Thank you. Love you
So much. Hopefully you'll be back either next month or in August so that we can talk about more Facebook stuff. And let's move into launch stuff. First, let's see if I can fix my camera, because that could be cool. But thankfully, Allison is like teaching us real stuff, not just me asking her a bunch of questions. So it won't be the end of the world if my camera, I'm still frozen. How ridiculous is that? Okay, it's fine. It's totally fine. How about we look at Allison's face? Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Hello, gorgeous. You looked lovely. I love the purple, by the way.
Yeah,
You
it's
are
a
awesome.
it's a great little kimono thingy that I got going on here. But my whole face is frozen. I look like I'm deep in thought, right? And this happened a couple of times yesterday, but it eventually like came back. So I don't know. I might have to go out and come in while you're teaching. We'll see what happens.
No
But I did a terrible job. I forgot to ask you. I mean, I know you're awesome. I love so many things about you, but I didn't ask you for specific wonderful things that you've accomplished in your business so that I could tell people why I think you're awesome, except for the obvious. I can't talk. So, would you be so kind as to explain to our viewers, and most of the people will be watching the replay on this, but tell them who you are, what you do, and why I'm so excited that you're going to be telling some launch strategies, teaching some launch strategies, because they hear from me all the time. So I love that we're having a different perspective in pre-launch and all the things. We already spent a ton of time yesterday talking about marketing like you matter, taking up the space when you have new offers. So I'm pretty excited to hear what you're going to teach today. But tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm all about brass tactics. We're going to get to it. But okay, so I am Allison Lee Simmons. I am an Italian Enneagram 8 from Jersey. That means I talk loud, I talk fast, and I talk with my hands. It also means I am incredibly passionate about just about everything, from coffee all the way to goal setting and helping my clients achieve bigger, better things by staying laser focused on one project so that we move faster, because we all know that if we're growing in a circle, it takes a lot longer than if we're shooting an arrow and we're going straight through. So that's essentially what I do with my clients. I am my official title, which it's taken me a while to land on, is business manager and strategy implementer. I have two arms to my business. I manage your back of house, I manage your systems, I manage your team, I manage your contractors, and I help you strategize your scaling, and then I help you implement said scaling. So I'm this magic unicorn that lives between the VA, who's the box checker that you have to tell what to do, and the coach that looks in from the outside and says, hey, this is what I think you should do, right? Like, I'm in it with you. I am in the garden. I am digging up the weeds. I am planting the seeds. I am watering all the things. So that's me. That's what I do. I don't really know if I have like accomplishments. Really? Like, I don't know what to say there.
Well, I think I'm sure I love you because we're in kind of the same, we are pretty much in the same space. Yeah. So I love, let's talk about branding for a second. First of all, I was digging around in your website yesterday looking for specific questions to ask you. And I'm so glad that I didn't have to come up with those because my brain was fried after yesterday. But here's a really good example of branding. All of those things that Allison just said, she almost said word for word from her website. So if you go from this call right now and you look Allison up later, you're going to be able to connect the dots because she's on point with her messaging. So that was amazing. Good job.
Thanks.
There was something else I wanted to say, but I already forgot. So
it's all good. Well, I'll tell you my new tagline now, and I got this through actually one of our mutual friends is not bossy, just aggressively helpful. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but I introduced myself to every Facebook group wearing a t-shirt that says not bossy, just aggressively helpful.
I do know.
Because a client of mine literally told me after I sent them our very first meeting agenda, their onboarding meeting agenda, and it was like 15 things long. And they were like, oh my gosh, I think we just hired you to be our boss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, you did. Welcome. And so that's become this joke, but I'm not your boss, right? I'm not bossy. I'm just aggressively helpful. That's my MO.
That's funny because I tell new clients all the time, depending on what level we're at, I'm like, listen, you need to understand before we commit to this that I will come in and I will take over. Like, I'm not going to ask for your permission in a lot of things if it's something that I know needs to be done. And you are going to feel like I am taking over because I am. So that's really funny. I definitely remember that shirt. I need it actually.
Well, it's one of those random Facebook ads where like they literally said that to me, and Facebook's always listening, right? Yeah. And then it popped up in my feed. I've never seen it again, right? Because it's like it got me. I bought it, and boom, boom, it's gone.
Facebook. Laura and I had lots of conversations about our feelings on Facebook. But anyway, I know you have a lot to teach us, so I don't want to take away from that time because Jana is going to be coming up and we're talking about sales next.
Okay.
So you should be able to share your screen if you need to. Just hit the present button at the bottom and then select your thing, and I'll get out of the way. Hopefully I can fix my face.
Presentation. Let me find the right window. Isn't that there it is.
Yeah.
All right. Are you looking at my launch strategy made simple? You are, because now
Yep.
I can see it too.
Okay, perfect.
Fantastic. All right, guys. So I am super excited that JKN invited me to be here today. I'm going to be talking all about launch strategy. And I think the biggest thing that frustrated me as a new business owner that was trying to launch anything was that the launch felt overwhelmingly complicated. And there were so many little things that I had to get done. And there were so many tiny tasks. And I was just like, I just couldn't. I was paralyzed. And so as I have been doing launches continuously for like 2 years, and I've started doing them for clients, I realized that it is so much better when I simplified the steps and then I added details underneath, because not every business has the same launch strategy or at the same level of details. So we're going to talk about a simple strategy that every single business owner can implement. And then depending on what you're offering, what you're launching, and the number of people in your audience or the size of your offer, you can complicate it at will. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so I just actually did my intro, so I don't need to do it again. But I am a business manager and strategy implementer. I started my LLC. I'm coming up on 1 year officially, July 17th, that my actual business has been an LLC. So that's exciting. I'm totally loving all of the things I get to do with my clients. They're pretty freaking amazing. So we're going to jump right into the presentation. Okay. A simple strategy is still strategic. In fact, I think the more simple you get, the more strategic you have to be. And that is the beauty of it. So there are 5 simple stages for any launch. It doesn't matter what you're launching or who you are, how big your business is, all the things, right? The first stage is going to be the launch basics, right? An outline of the offer that you're launching and the general launch plan. And I'll talk about what's in that launch plan, but you're basically answering who, what, where, why, how, those questions. The second phase is the launch lead-in. Okay, this is about 4 to 6 weeks. This is what we call your launch runway. And the mistake, I'll tell you right now, the mistake that I made that so many new business owners make is that they don't give themselves enough lead-in time. They have a great idea. They want to launch it immediately, and they're still trying to figure out what that offer looks like. And they're already like, cart's open, everybody get in there. And then they're upset. So we need to make sure that we have a lead-in time. Now, maybe 4 to 6 weeks is too long for you. You can shorten it, all the things, but you need a lead-in. Stage 3 is your pre-launch. This is going to be that 1 week before your actual launch date. And there are specific items that you want to do that 1 week prior to your launch. Then we have, of course, stage 4, which is the launch itself. This is your open cart. Maybe it's 3 days, maybe it's 10 days. But what are you doing during open cart? And then finally, post-launch. Y'all, I still suck at this stage, okay? Because by the time the launch is over, you are so dang tired. You don't want to do the post-launch stage. But I would almost say that for a seasoned business owner, stage 5 is the most important. And you'll find out why here in just a minute. All right, so let's dive into, and obviously we're launching. We're all about rocket ships, right? So you will see that this entire presentation, because I'm a theme girl, it goes along the theme of a rocket ship launch. So, right, like what's the very first thing that NASA does when they are going to launch a rocket ship? They're going to plan the freaking mission. They're going to want to know, where are they landing that bad boy when it takes off? When are they taking off? Who's going to be the astronauts, right? They have to get all the mission planning done well in advance of the actual launch. That is what you are doing with launch basics. What is the offer that you're launching? Who exactly is it for? Why do they need it? Take time to actually write that out and get your messaging super clear. Obviously, you want to know, how much does your offer cost? Are you offering a discount, at different points during the launch? This is one of those things where you can start to get into the nitty gritties depending on what you're offering. You want to choose your launch date. Another mistake that somebody will make is like, well, I don't want to set a launch date yet because my offer is not completely created yet. And I don't want to, no. Set that date, baby, because when you have a deadline, you will get your butt in gear to get your product or your service like rounded out. So set that launch date. And then what are your launch success standards? So it's real simple, right? Good, better, best. It would be good if I got 5 signups for my group program. It would be better if I got 10. It would be best if I got 15, right? Just keep it really simple, basic. And then finally, who is on my team? You might be a solopreneur. You might be doing all the jobs, and that is okay, but you might not be, right? You might have a VA. You might have a copywriter. You might have a social media manager. So they're not like an internal team per se, but you have contractors that you can lean on to help. That is important information for you to have, because when we get to the next phase and we start hashing out some details about your launch, you want to be able to assign things to people. Delegation is such a massive part of a successful launch if you're not doing it, or if you don't have to do it completely by yourself. So those are your launch basics. Phase 2, 4 to 6 weeks before your launch date. This is your lead-in, right? This is when we're physically building the rocket ship. We're building the launch. Few things that you want to be doing during this time. Number 1, market research. Y'all, I hate market research. I hate it. But I have learned how valuable it is, because even though I know what my ICA, my ideal client avatar, right, is struggling with, I need to know how they're saying it, right? Because I'm very direct, I'm very succinct. I can just pinpoint the problem and get it out, right? But that might not be how they're processing it. They might be talking about surface level issues, but I know the real problem is something underlying deep down, that my service solves that problem. But when I tell them I solve the problem down here, they're not thinking about that. They're thinking on the surface level of all the problems on top, right? I'm trying to think of what the word is for that. But like the surface problems, they're not getting deep to where I want to solve the problem down here. So you need to learn to speak your ICA's language, and market research is going to do that. You could do this by having a focus group. You could do this by simply asking, posting in, we were talking about Facebook, right? Facebook groups. Going into Facebook groups that your ideal client is hanging out, and just say like, hey, I am doing market research for an offer. This is a no pitch conversation, but if you are struggling with any of these problems, can I ask you a few questions? I am constantly offering to give people my opinion about what they're selling or what they're going to be teaching, because I want them to do a better job. And so I am all about market research, like giving. I just hate doing it myself. So I like to hire that out if I can. Next is going to be share content as you're doing your market research that calls out your ICA's pain points that your product or service solves, right? So like I said, there's going to be those surface pain points that they're struggling with. So it's super easy to use the pain point of a woman who just had a baby and she's unhappy with her body, right? Some of the pain points that she's experiencing: she's exhausted. She's still probably in pain. Let's face it, it takes a solid year to recover after having a baby, right? She's probably not feeling very good about herself. She's, because of the exhaustion, because of the hormones and the emotions, she might be experiencing some postpartum depression. Is that a pain point she has? Maybe, let's just be honest, y'all, maybe she's like, husband, don't even look at me, let alone touch me, right? Like maybe that's something. She's feeling some like physical barriers there with her husband about intimacy. Maybe she feels alone. Maybe she feels isolated. Maybe she's sick and tired of everybody giving her advice about how she should care for her newborn baby. She's already feeling not confident, and then everybody has their own opinion to share, right? Like, what are all those pain points that this new mama is experiencing? And as a mom coach, let's say I'm a new mom coach, and I help women in that first year, really identify who they want to be as a mom and feel confident that they can do a good job, right? I know that I have this coaching program or whatever it is, right? And I know that I'm going to be solving a lot of mindset issues that she's experiencing. But she's not thinking I have a mindset issue. She's talking about all those other things. So I'm going to talk about all those surface level problems that she's experiencing through blog posts, on my social media. I'm going to be sending emails out to my subscriber list. I'm going to be on my own podcast, but I'm going to be asking other people, can I get on your podcast? And can I be sharing this with your audience? Because I know that these are things that they might be experiencing. I'm going to be recording videos and posting them all over the place, right? So leading up to our launch date, we are not talking about our offer yet, but we are addressing all of the issues that your ICA is experiencing that we eventually know. I've called them out. They're going, oh my gosh, is she looking in my window? How does she know I'm struggling with these things? So that way, when I slide my offer in, they're like, that's it. That's what I need. It's like an easy yes. Number 3, creating your sales page and any other elements of your funnel, right? So this is all about funnels to fortune. Y'all need a funnel, right? So we want to make sure that we have that sales page. Maybe we have a welcome video. We have a follow-up email. All of that automation. We want to get that set up. Does not mean you have to make that live yet, but we want to have all those things created during this time. All of your tech, y'all set it up and test. JK, and I know that you were experiencing some tech issues. I think you said with Google not sending out your emails, right? Like some stuff we can't know isn't going to work until it doesn't work. And we're like, crap, right? But if you can test it, making sure your links work, your payment processor works, right? Like all those things, test. And then finally, reaching out to potential affiliates. Now, whether or not you want to offer an actual affiliate discount or bonus or anything is totally fine. But you could also just reach out to people that are in your network and say, hey, I have a new offer coming. I know that your audience experiences these pain points and might benefit from this. Would you mind sharing it? Like, would you mind promoting it for me? Not for 6 weeks, just when I open cart. You would be surprised at how many people are so willing to do that for you. So this is your launch lead-in. Okay, now, next stage is your pre-launch, right? This is your 1 week before launch date. Here's the thing, y'all. Embrace being a broken record, okay? Because for the week prior to launch, as well as your open cart launch time, you are going to talk about your offer every single day, if not multiple times a day, right? So we're going to talk about the offer that's specifically coming. What program am I offering, or what product am I offering? Who is it for? How is it going to solve their problems? What problems is it going to solve? All those things. A week beforehand is also a great time to be sharing testimonials. If you've already launched this before, or even if you've given it away as a freebie, what did people have to say about it, right? What do they have? Now, and a little tip, okay? Let's say you're launching something brand new that you've never launched before and you don't have any testimonials. Do you have anybody that's ever worked with you before doing anything that's even sort of kind of in the realm of what you're doing? And can a testimonial for them be used to promote this offer? Share it. It's all good. It's social proof. You're also going to be scheduling out your sales sequence emails, right? So we are going to write them and schedule them 1 week prior to, because the last thing you want to be doing during your launch is trying to remember to send out those reminders. Hey, cart is open. Hey, these are the things that you get from the program. Hey, these are the pain points. Hey, here's the bonus. We don't want to be doing that during launch week. We want to have that pre-scheduled. So get that ready. And then the last thing is you want to be creating FOMO, fear of missing out, in every single piece of content you put out there. You want to be doing that imagine if. Here's your problem. Imagine if it was solved versus your life if it wasn't. All the time. That is what you're doing, is creating FOMO. So if we've done all of our market research and we've spent 4 to 6 weeks really doing our launch lead-ins, this pre-launch is implementation time, baby. We are taking all the hard work we did the last month and we are putting it into action here in our pre-launch phase. Blast off. Here we go. We have launched. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have taken off. We are in the sky. Your sales page goes live and you're talking about your offer. You have a pop-up or an announcement bar on your website, and then you're talking about your offer. And you're going to start that email sequence to your subscribers, and you're going to go live everywhere you can to talk about your offer. If you want to run ads and you have a budget, do it, and then go talk about your offer. You're going to literally, like broken record times 10, you're going to want to throw the freaking record player out the door, out the window, whatever. but that's okay. Because what you think you have beat the dead horse, I promise you, it's still kicking, okay? Because we all know this. Not everybody sees your content. Wasn't this what JK was just saying about how if people comment on her Facebook post or whatever, she doesn't get a notification? She doesn't know people are commenting. They don't necessarily know that she's posting, right? Talk about your offer until you literally run out of breath, and then you may still not have talked about it enough. I'm just saying. You want your launch phase to not contain anything regarding tech or regarding planning. This is your opportunity to just talk, be excited, and to respond to comments, to respond to questions, to get into DMs, and do all of your selling, if you will, okay? During your launch open cart, you want to be doing all of your selling. And then we have finally our last stage. It's our post-launch. We're going to take in the view. We're up, we're in outer space, and we're going to look out the freaking window, and now we can see all of the launch at once. During this time, of course, we're going to start off by sending deliverables to your buyers, right? If you are doing a service, we want to begin nurturing our new clients, our new students, whatever it is. We want to open that course up. We want to send them that private podcast we promise them as one of the bonuses, whatever it is. We also want to follow up with any leads, hot leads, who didn't buy. How come? Like, and this is not like a, hey, you jerk, we had this big conversation. Why didn't you buy? No, right? Like, we're going to send them an email or a Facebook message and be like, hey, listen, cart is closed. Super sad you missed out, but just curious. I'm wondering why you didn't buy. Like, and you can actually send them a survey if you want, a Google form, keep it real simple. You could do something fancier if you want, or you could just ask them. And it doesn't need to be like answer, give me this real in-depth discussion or whatever. You could give them a multiple choice. Like, was it about finances right now? Was it because you just don't feel like you're at the level where this solves the problem that you really have? Like, whatever it is, try and keep it very non-confrontational and just really come from a place of, you know what, I realized this wasn't right for you today. Maybe it will be in the future, but in the meantime, I would love to know what you thought of the service or the product and why you didn't pull the trigger. You want to go back also to your overall goals and then compare them to your results. What was your good, better, best? And how did you fare, right? Did you blow it out of the park? Did you land right where you thought you were? Or did things not go well? And then, depending on where we are there, we want to look at the conversion data for each type of marketing we used, right? If we use social media marketing, where we were posting on our own social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, right? Conversion data. How many people from my posts on my feed ended up in a DM and pulled the trigger, right? Then we want to look at Facebook groups, maybe because I feel like a Facebook group is a different, and I didn't watch the entire previous session. I did come in about halfway through, but like that's a bit of a different beast right there. It's a different idea of what you're doing in those groups. How many people, when I posted in a group, started a conversation with me, pulled the trigger or whatever? How many people signed up through my email sequence, right? What and ads? How many people came in through my ads? What was the cost per lead? So we want to look at each different piece of marketing that we did and see which one was most effective, which one didn't work at all, and which one could be improved upon. And then finally, you cannot fall off the face of the earth. Ironic, y'all, because the astronaut's like looking at the earth. He's no longer on the face of the earth. That was extra. That was an extra pun just for fun. Didn't even plan that one. But you cannot disappear. You have got to return to your normal programming. So if that was one weekly subscriber email, you got to keep it up, right? I'm not saying that you can't like take a break. Like maybe you need a week off, but you cannot stop nurturing and loving on your general audience simply because the launch is over. That is why it is a really good idea to kind of reuse some old content. Like there's nothing wrong with going back to something that you had 6 months ago and say, I'm just going to re-put this out. I'm going to repost that, those graphics. I'm going to republish this old podcast episode that did really well. Just don't disappear altogether. All right. So that is the last stage. A few things to remember that I want to just share with you. Number one, plan meticulously, but stay flexible. Okay. It is okay for things not to go perfectly, but The more you have planned out, it is so much easier to deviate from a plan than it is to take spaghetti off of a wall and try to make a meal out of it. Focus on your audience, not your sales. Continually have conversations with the ideal buyer. Don't worry about who's clicking the link and pressing the pay buy now button until after the entire launch is over. We talked about this, right? Build momentum early, that lead-in phase where you're sharing all those posts, those blogs, those podcast episodes about pain points. That is building your momentum. The sooner you can start that, the better. Leverage your network. I mentioned this with affiliates. Ask people who are in your network who have your ideal clients in their audience if they wouldn't mind helping you promote your offer, and then do the same for them later. Y'all stay positive and be persistent. And I suck. This is like my worst. I get so down on myself. And it is that middle launch slump. Cart is open. It's been open. You're in the middle of that. And like the natural tendency is for the cart buy now to die down in the middle of your launch. Don't give up. Be persistent. Learn and iterate. Learn from this launch. Do it again. Fix it. Make it better. Learn from the next launch. Iterate it again, do it better, etc., etc., etc. And then finally, remember your why. Always go back to that. Why the heck am I launching this offer? Why the heck is it so freaking valuable to my audience? Maybe not to every single person in my audience, maybe to only 10%, but why is it valuable to that 10%? They're the ones that I want to help out with this particular product, this particular service. They're who I'm talking to because I want to make a difference in their lives. So, few things to remember as you go through your launch to help you stay on top of it. Sorry. It's not going to my last slide. I don't know why. Is it? I lost my last slide. I don't know what happened to it, but I will stop sharing. There we go. I don't know, JK, and if you want to come back on here, I ran us pretty much right to the end. I did want to offer those slides to anybody who wants them because I don't have like a freebie to give out, but I can give you the link to those slides if you want to share them.
Yeah, of course. Send me the link
Okay.
and make sure that it's just the view link, not the template link, because we don't want anybody jacking with it.
Right. No. I actually downloaded it as a PDF.
Okay, cool.
So-
Yeah, I'll drop it in the.
Here, I'm putting it in the private chat for you
Okay.
right now. Or it's in the comments. I don't even know where it is. No, it's in the private chat.
Got it. Okay, what did we call this? Launch strategy made simple.
Yeah.
Launch.
And I totally had a last slide, and I don't know. Yeah, it didn't go to my last slide, but it's all good. We're good. We're out of time anyway.
Oh, we actually have a few minutes. So Jana will be on in about 15 minutes, which means we're gonna take a little break because now that I've finally stuffed my face and eaten some food, I need to go to the bathroom. Anyway, but I know I want to ask you questions. I love, first of all, I resonate with everything that you said. I am so glad that you teach the same sort of launch strategies as me. And because that would be weird, but it's totally
That would be weird.
it would be weird. But no,
I was very trusting of you to let me come in and teach without me like giving you the slides ahead of time.
no, I wouldn't have even looked at it. But there are also a million ways to $1 million. But no, I am so excited. Earlier yesterday, I gave people my social media ebook, which gives them just their social media posts to be able to, have the runway. And you went more into the actual building it out part, which I loved. So I do want to know, if you're watching this live or the replay, tell me what part of those steps, the 5 steps, you really struggle with most. So I kind of laughed out loud. My face was still frozen, I think, when you mentioned that you struggle on the back end with the post launch, whereas I feel like this event is a good example. So I did not, and I said this yesterday, so I'll just repeat it again today, but this is the first time that I've done the Funnels to Fortune event. And I basically had a template for other events that I'd done in the past, but I didn't do a good job at all at building the runway. Like I kind of mentioned it to people, but I threw it together. My ego got in the way, and I thought that I could just throw it together, and I did throw it together, all of the tech stuff, all of the build in a couple of days, and I left out the runway part where I told people about it, or the part I did not do a good job for my affiliates so that they could share either. So the reiteration for the next time, and I've already mentioned it several times, we're doing it again in July, the second week, Thursday and Friday probably. It'll be 10 times better.
Yeah.
What was my point? I did not mark.
I was saying that I hate the post launch. That is my biggest struggle because I'm so freaking tired. I don't want to do it. Like
No, part of all of the templates that I have built out is making sure that on the back end, and even with the invites and all, automation is my best friend. So I'm not worried about the end part. Like that part's always covered. Where they're going, the emails, all the things, that's done in my sleep. And again, I use a template all the time with my events. So most of the work is done, but you still have to update the emails, making sure that people are getting the notifications that they need, all of the things. So I did find that interesting that we're the complete opposite on that, where I just sleep through the post launch.
Yeah. Well, but I did. There was I mean, I absolutely did at one point. And I learned my lesson, but because I'm such a planner, the planning is exciting. I love the planning. Like that's what really gets me going. And then after it's all over, and I'm like, there's a bit of a letdown. Like there's an adrenaline junkie, dopamine hit, like all the things. And then I feel like post-launch, the energy just drops off. And I almost go through a little bit of postpartum depression, if you will, right? Like to lead off that example. It's hard. And I have to be like, okay, no, you can't just drop the ball, Alice. Stay on it.
Yeah. And if you guys are doing things, a lot of you, I know, are relaunching your things that you have going on a regular basis. And that's what she's talking about in the reiteration process is when your launch event ends, that's just a fancy word for marketing. It doesn't mean that your cart is closed or anything like that. So you just move into the next time. Like if you know you're going to do it, I don't know, every month or every quarter, you just put those processes in place so that you just do the exact same thing. You make it better than the last time, and then it gets easier every single time. So, okay. I've asked everybody this question. So if I am, I don't even know how to ask this question. It's weird for me. If I am new to planning out a real launch. Yes. Okay. I should be able to ask this. If I have never done a real launch strategy, I just open cart, throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. What would be the very first thing that you would tell me I need to do to create a real launch strategy and build the runway so that I actually convert sales?
As someone who has done just that, I would go back and say that next time you're going to do it, take yourself, get out a Google Doc, or if you like to write things, even if you voice note it, whatever, do those questions that were on the slide where, what am I offering? Who is it for? And why do they need it? Answer those 3 questions. And then at least for 1 week prior to opening the cart, answer those 3 questions in a different way every single day to your audience. And that's just a simple way to get better the next time, right? Like we don't need to be 100 times better, but we can be 1% better, right? Make your next launch 1% better by answering those 3 questions every day for a week and then open cart. And then next time we market research and we answer those questions and we talk about it for 2 weeks and then we open cart. And then the next time, and each time we build that runway out a little bit further.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Again, I hope that you will come back to one of the future Funnels to Fortunes.
Love to.
I don't know why it's hard for me to say those words, but
And it's a tongue twister. You picked a hard name.
I didn't. I guess when I put it all together, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. And I did my headline analyzer, and the analyzer said that it was fantastic. I got a really high score. I'm like, oh yeah, great. Never said it out loud.
Yeah.
Then when I started sending voice notes and things to people, and even typing it out, like I always want to lead with fortunes, not funnels. I'm like, no, that's not right. This is not the correct funnel sequence.
I love it. You're so cute. You're so cute.
I try. I try really hard actually, but what's the point? Oh, so friends, I'm going to go ahead and let's take a break. Jana will be on. We're going to dive into sales strategies, and she has a workshop coming up that I'm really excited to talk about too. But let's come back in 10 minutes. So 2:45 if you're on the East Coast, 11:45 if you're on the West Coast, and if you're like me in the middle of everything, because I like to be in the middle of everything, 1:45. And I'll put a little Canva thing up for those of you who are jumping in and have no idea why there's nothing going on. But Allison, thank you so much. We should do more stuff together. Yeah, absolutely. I have been keeping an eye on some of your social media posts, and they're great. Pretty great.
I try to entertain. I try to make it fun.
Right? That's the whole thing. If you're not entertaining, what's the point? But
Exactly.
okay, friends, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Bye.
See ya. Hello. Welcome back. Oh, there's Jana. Okay, perfect. That was like perfect timing because we took a 10-minute break so I could run to the restroom. But okay, we're going to jump very quickly into our sales strategy for today because I know so many of you just want to know how to make more money and how to do it well without feeling like a sleazy salesperson. I know because I've heard you say it, and Jana's heard you say it too. Everybody's heard you say it. Nobody wants to be the sleazy salesperson. But first, let's talk about we're about halfway through our day today. So let's do some housekeeping so that everybody is on the same page. First of all, yes, there is a VIP offer. I would love to see you upgrade to VIP because you're going to get a lot of one-on-one access to me. In fact, part of the VIP offer is not only a whole month's access, and it doesn't say this specifically, but it is included. You're going to get a whole month of my Fix Your Funnel membership, which we're going to do this afternoon. We're going to do a live workshop. You can come in. You're going to share your screen. We're going to fix your shit, whether it's automation, whether it's your landing page, whether it's email, whether it's your offer, all of the things we can talk about that. And it's a $7 membership that you're getting for part of the VIP. It's 3 hours a week of power hour time sharing hot seat coaching, basically. You also in that VIP are going to get one-on-one time with me too via Voxer. So anytime you're working on your stuff and you have questions, you're like, I don't know what to do here, or this isn't working the way that I think, you send me a message and I tell you how to fix it on the spot. Let me be clear, maybe not on the spot because I'm not available 24/7 because that would be unhealthy. And you shouldn't be available 24/7 either. But you can tell me your problems in real time. You don't have to wait for those power hours. Also, we've talked about Don't Suck at Business, Kara Law's book that is included in the VIP. And then there are some other things too, blah, blah, blah. But I'm really excited to talk to Jana. Jana is the Authentic Sales Coach. She has a Facebook group that's called The Woo and the Do, which I love. It just rolls off the tongue. It makes so much sense. And her whole mission in life is to help you make more money, authentic to your business, authentic to you, and without that whole feeling icky about making offers. So let me remove this and hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to bring it for you guys. I have legit been on back to back all day. So I am like, I'm like trying to put gas in the gas tank. With
Yeah.
Water.
While Allison, I was so glad yesterday. Allison and I had decided that I was gonna interview her, and we were just gonna do that for her whole time slot, which is totally fine. But I needed to come up with good questions, and after yesterday, I couldn't come up with a good question to save my life. So then she was like, "Oh, no worries. I put together a presentation." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." It's like Christmas, so it's cool. We always have fantastic conversations. So we will give great strategies and we will help people figure out their whole life in the next 45 minutes to an hour. I'm not even sure. Let me check. My next speaker is at 2:30. So 45 minutes.
Let's go.
And if nothing else, we'll just entertain people for 45 minutes.
I like it.
All right. So let's talk about, first of all, if you are known as the Authentic Sales Coach, that means something happened, right? Let's just talk about why you are the Authentic Sales Coach. Tell us the story. I know a lot of people watching this probably haven't heard it. I have. It's fantastic. And it's going to open your eyes a little bit on why you need to pay attention to the things that Jana is going to teach you today.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. It sounds like a plan. And I'm so glad we're talking about sales in an industry full of where are all my leads and I need more content and more marketing. Really sales, and for anybody that was in corporate probably hates this whole saying, and I do too, but please find me a better one and I'll say it. And that is, sales is where the rubber meets the road. That's where the conversion happens. That's where the money is made. So for anybody, I just want to set you free before I get into my story that you can do it your way, but for the love of God, find a way to do it, because that's where the actual clients come from. Okay. It doesn't come from our pretty font and our brand colors. That is what brings people in, is our messaging, but the sales is where the transaction happens. So, however, I had some sales baggage back in the day. So my story begins back in the early 2000s with my first sales career, or my first sales job. And they'd spent all this money. I had my dream job. How many of you, like, let me know in the chat if you had this sort of scenario. Uh-oh, I'm frozen. Are you frozen? Who's frozen?
I hear you.
Okay.
Let me tell you. Okay, please hold. So what usually happens in this situation is my face will freeze, but I can still hear and talk to you. But it seems
Okay.
like you're frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay, carry on. So,
Well,
where was
hold on. You're the one talking. So if you hit the refresh button, it should bring you right back in, and I'll just entertain people for a half a second.
Oh, am I there?
You were for half a second.
Like 1/2 a second.
Guys, this is part of the reason that I love doing live events. Is you have heard me talk about being authentic. I don't give a shit when stuff breaks, honestly. Like this morning when my live didn't go right, like it was kind of, I wanted to be on time, but it shows you what really happens behind the scenes, even with people who run events for a living. I produce events for other people and clients all day long. Now, granted, they have me that saves them from all these things instead of me having to do it myself and entertain you at the same time. So if you're planning on doing a new summit or event and you want somebody to help you produce that event so that you don't run into the same things that I run into, let's talk. But I also had an issue of freaking Google, right? Like we were talking about your pre-launch. I automate everything. My invites are automated. I drop people into a workflow. It is scheduled for them to get the emails. It is scheduled to pull people out of that workflow if they sign up for the thing. All of the things, everything is automated. Pre-launch, launch, post-launch, it's all automated. Google, however, decided that they didn't like my invite sequence this time. And I got more than one screenshot from somebody who said, I got this warning in my inbox that you were trying to, it wasn't just spam. It was like red banner, bullshit, bad stuff. So I had to manually send a ton of invites this week, which makes it difficult if you've already created the automations and the workflows to do these type of things. So again, I don't care when things break because it helps you see we don't actually live in an Instagram world where everything is peachy clean all the time. I love when stuff breaks. I love to say stupid stuff. Like be authentic in who you are. And when Jana comes back, that's going to be part of how you sell people. Just like Laura and I were talking about earlier, when you're growing your Facebook group, be you. Be human. Your people are going to be drawn to when you point out that you make mistakes all the time. They're going to be drawn to the fact that you ran out of coffee and now your words are slurring. They can resonate with those types of things. Now, I'm not quite sure why it's taking Jana so long to come back, but who cares? We're going to have a ball. Oh, she might be messaging me right now. Please hold. This is an important message that I should probably check. Oh. Please hold.
I'm having a major malfunction here. I'm going to restart my computer.
Okay, she's going to be just a second longer. Her computer like straight up crashed. And again, this is life. When we do live events, don't let things like this scare you because people are going to they're going to bounce. They may bounce because they have better things to do than sit there and listen to me ramble on and fill space. Some people will bounce because they think that it's unprofessional. But if you think it's unprofessional, you're probably not my person because I shout from the rooftops. I am the least professional person in business. And that's probably not true. A lot of my friends in business are not very professional either. And so that's why they're my people, right? We like to have fun. We like to tell it how it is instead of, being all professional. And that's another funny story. So I think it was with CT yesterday. It had to have been live that we were having this conversation because we didn't chat afterwards. But I have a lot of clients and I use ChatGPT for a lot of the content and the things that we create for them. And I pointed out, well, CT reminded me that ChatGPT instilled that memory thing where it's remembering between your different threads and your different conversations so that your priming time, your prompting time is shorter, right? And I pointed out, I don't need ChatGPT to remember everything because I definitely don't want it to write content in my voice, in JCan Solutions voice, for any of my clients. Like I have a brand new client that just came on in the last couple of weeks. That is, I asked, they deal with construction companies, kind of. They deal with like truck drivers. My husband is a truck driver, so I can say these things and know what I'm talking about. But truck drivers are not professional type people, right? Like my husband is not professional. And so I asked the project head, I was like, okay, I need to create social media content for them. And I said, well, I'm still not clear on what the voice of this brand is. Am I speaking like I'm talking to truck drivers or am I being professional? I need to know. And the answer was, this is a professional tone, speaking to these people. So again, I don't need ChatGPT remembering those things and throwing my content in with the professional brands. Jana's back.
Guess who's back? Have you heard that new Slim
Back
Shady?
again.
The new Slim Shady song giving him the Guess who's back? It's a brand new one. Anyway.
No, I haven't, but I heard that I saw some stuff about it on the Instagram, I'm pretty sure, because he said something about his daughter and that people were upset. Anyway.
Oh, really? I haven't heard the song. I've just seen clips here and there. So anyway.
Another example. That's good because earlier, I don't even remember, we were talking about responding to people in song lyrics. So here's another example, friends, of why Jana and I are such good friends, because we communicate in song lyric. And that's the way you should roll.
You know,
okay.
Okay. I was on my story.
Mm-hmm.
I was just getting going. I'm going to make this fast because I know y'all don't want to just hear about my story. So, all right. So I'm in my first real career job and I fell for all the things, right? Like they said, work really hard in school, and then get into a good college and work even harder there. And then you'll get your dream job and the rest is history. So here I am at my dream job and I am terrible. They spent months and months training me and telling me all the things I had to say. And here's your message and go do your thing and don't take no for an answer. And I was so incredibly uncomfortable that I cried almost daily. Like my customers did not like me. And I was pretty sure I was going to get fired. When something actually very tragic happened, which was a hurricane hit my territory. But for me, even though it was a very scary time, it afforded me the opportunity to kind of rethink how I wanted to approach my territory, because I couldn't just march into these accounts now where some people had lost their homes, some people had lost their businesses, some people were in trailers. Like it was a wreck. And this was about a good third to a half of my territory. And so I couldn't just pretend anymore. And so a new question came up. So, if you're a writer downer, what I would say is the question to ask is, how do you want to do it? And so that was the question that I asked myself in that moment, because it was like, well, they can't fire me now. Here I am. How do I want to do this? And so I really started to show up differently. And you know what's really cool about showing up in JKN is you can make a decision and it can be an entirely different way. Like one decision. And you kind of keep making that decision, right? But it was like I had a makeover, a sales makeover. And so instead of going in there like, how can I get this person to do what I want this person to do? Let me meet my quota, me. It became, how about I just see how this person's doing? How about I just like show up for as a human to human and get to know them? How about I actually care? And so when I did more of that and, having the space to really be myself now, because the company wasn't breathing down my neck, like clearly I'm not going to meet quota. And so it created this space for me to really be me in my sales career. And so long story short, wherever I went, it didn't matter. And we all like to blame, right? We do it. It's the company, it's the territory, it's the product, it's my boss, it's my husband, it's the weather. But it didn't matter. Like no matter where I went, when I did it, when I approached my customers or now my clients and teach other clients to approach in this way and to communicate in this way and to truly lead with your heart, it made all the difference. And so that's a part of the story of how the Authentic Sales Coach was born. And then the other part is I'm just became very much into like the inner work piece. About 10 years ago, I started doing a lot of yoga and a lot of meditation. And for any of you spiritual entrepreneurs, I had an awakening. And so I started really exploring like that inner world and healing and transformation and like what makes this really tick, right? Like I talked about a minute ago, like that deciding. And how do we do that? How do I just up level? And so human potential became a big part of what I really liked. But so where the Authentic Sales Coach was finally born in all of this is when it came to a head, when I was working with my first coach, like so many of us do. And I'm like, I don't know who my niche is and how I want this to look. And I love this potential, this human, like the healing and the transformation. But I had all of this experience doing this different authentic sales way of, this approach. And she just said, why don't you do both? And so that was where the kind of the culmination came together, is really truly doing it from the inside out. So there you have it in a nutshell.
Perfect. So I guess I know we just did a live last week, and so we're probably going to be talking about the same things, but let's start with the big objections that you and I have both heard from people when it comes to making offers, specifically sales offers. And I don't remember, did we last week talk about my whole, it's not a theory, it's a fact, but the whole making an offer, how often you make the offer, blah, blah, blah. Did we talk about that? Was that you and me?
Didn't, but this sounds good. Let's hear it.
Well, let's talk about how people feel first about sales and how it can be different and how you show them that it's different. And then I'll tell you, I can't believe it. I'm surely I've said this to you.
I don't think so, but sometimes people say that, and then once they start talking about it, like, oh yeah, you did, I did. Now I know.
Yeah,
so it's possible.
Yeah,
but it's not ringing a bell yet. Okay, so first, can I just set people free around sales for a minute? Can you guys just like listen up? All right. So sales is not something you do to someone. It's done for someone. What do I mean? I mean, the type of sales that I teach, the type of interaction is not about forcing, convincing, manipulating anybody into doing anything. That's like, I don't even know. Maybe that's sales like 101 from 1912. But sales for me and for my clients, and what I hope to see over this industry, is sales is really about helping people make the decisions that they already desire to make. And those are two very different things. So all of a sudden, what happens kind of like my little transition, my little quick little soul makeover upgrade I had back in, the early 2000s, 2004 to be exact. I forgot what I was going to say. It's really about them and not about you, is what I was going to say. And the reason that almost, if not everybody listening to this, and in general has a problem with sales, it's because of A, what we think it's supposed to be, like we're supposed to convince somebody to do something they don't want to do, or B, we've made it about us, and like fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of I'm not good enough, like whatever it may be. And so, but there's flaws in both of those, because one thing I like to instill in my community, and just whoever will listen, is don't make your fear of judgment bigger than your mission. Oh, snap.
Ooh, write that down. There's
a
good
writer downer. And really just set yourself free from what people think. And when you can operate with a heart of gold and for the highest good, to serve another individual and helping them make a decision they already desire to make, then you're not doing anything except being of service to them and holding space for that process. And so when you can see it through that lens, and I've lived it, eaten, breathed it, still do, for now going on 2.5 decades. Started when I was 8, you know that.
Thank you for clarifying.
When you can see it in that way, it's actually a very beautiful thing. It really is. Because now it's really just helping people take action on the dreams they already want for themselves, but maybe just have a little bit of fear and resistance that we have to kind of like help them through. Because I don't know about you, J-Can. I mean, it's not like I invest in myself. I invest in my business. I know how this party rolls. But do I ever just go, yeah, give them a 25K. Yeah, sure. Here's 10. There's still like, I even understand the ROI of it all, but it still feels like I need to feel good about it. It's scary because we've been taught not to do those things, right? To save everything. And so it's scary. So I'll stop there.
Well,
for a minute anyway.
A couple of the other speakers, experts that we've had on, we talked about micro wins, micro offers, micro oh geez, I went on and on about how I love this one word, micro commitments. Do you think that a lot of people that have a lot of reservations about sales in general, do you think that in their head they're thinking that that when we're talking about sales, it's only like high ticket offers? Or do you think that there is do you think, I'm not sure I am wording this very properly.
Keep on keeping on. We'll get there.
Okay. So I don't know. My perception, I feel like maybe in the past when I have had more resistance to selling, I always had it in the back of my head. And this was as an employee, this was as a new business owner. So I'm wondering if this is general consensus with business owners. But thinking about sales, I'm always thinking it has to be a high ticket offer. I am not thinking of growing people, right? So this is the funnels to fortunes. So, we're talking about actual funnels, moving people through the sales funnels. And as an expert, as a sales coach, do you think that that's a pretty generic fear that people have, or where their brain goes when they're thinking about their sales approach?
I think in general, high ticket or low ticket, I think they think it's the end of the funnel. And I am here to tell you, even though it is where the maybe the end of the funnel is where the actual sale, like the cha-ching, it's made, The sale is the whole process. And, something that I teach in one of my programs is that sales overlay and looking through that lens every step of the way. So when you're talking about a funnel, you're selling them on each and every step. I'm selling you guys right now on sales.
Yes.
So I'm not selling anything other than ideas and new ideas about sales.
Okay.
And so it isn't about just the high ticket conversation or the discovery call. I would venture to say, if you do the funnel right, if you do the copy right and the content, I have a mentor that says, I can't really claim this, although it's so badass.
If you've
He's like,
given them credit 3 times, you can take credit yourself.
oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, that's
well then I'm going to be brilliant.
yeah.
You guys won't believe all the things I'm going to drop. But he says, if you're really handling a lot of objections, then you didn't handle it where it needed to be handled. And that was
that's good.
I'm like, boom, and that's the truth. So yeah, do you have to walk people through resistance? Do you need to be prepared on a sales call or in, a high stakes situation to be able to handle some of that energy? Absolutely. But if you're setting yourself up right, as if there's right and wrong, if you're setting yourself up for success, what you're going to do is you're going to handle as much of that stuff up front, right? Just like I said earlier, it's important I invest in myself. I understand the game. That's me talking about how it's important to invest in yourself and I understand the game. That's a thought that's important. You see what I mean? And so when I talk like that and that's in my content and I share like, hey, if you want to sell high ticket and if you want to serve at a high ticket level, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. So you better be willing to also invest in yourself in that way. What am I doing creating content like that? Do you see what that does? It's handling people's objection around, I don't know if I can invest in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that by the time they get to the call, they understand the value of investing in themselves. They may still have a little bit of like we all do. Like I said, we don't just have 25K, 10K, it's not like, here, please take my money. We all have like those more money, like lack wounds in there that get like picked at. And we have to still have somebody help us. But ultimately, if you've handled the way you've set up your funnel, that by the end of it, people aren't feeling some of those things. And it doesn't just have to be investing in high ticket. This can be any objection. Handling it in the front end, by the time you get to whatever sales conversion conversation, DM, however you want to frame it, it becomes a buying conversation instead of a sales conversation. And so that's why I love to talk about this overlay, because I think people have this misconception. I know. I work with them. I was one. And that I'll just create really fabulous content and then people will just see how great I am and buy. And it doesn't work that way. And that's why funnels are so important.
Okay, so just to build the bridge between the question I was trying to ask and the answer that
Did I just go off in a totally wrong direction?
No, not at all. But I just want to make
just to reel you in, Jana. You're way out of not
at all. You answered my question.
Okay.
But I want to make it super, super simple and clear. What you said is every step of your funnel strategy, no matter what the strategy is, whether it's the Facebook groups, whether it's YouTube, whether it's an ad sequence that goes to a landing page, all of the things, you are selling every step of the way. You are making offers and selling people to sign up for your freebie.
Your funnel has all sorts of different conversion points. The conversion isn't just the end. It isn't just the cha-ching piece. It's, not just money collected. Conversion is everything.
And that's the point of micro commitments and
Yes.
small CTAs, because you're selling them on taking the next step to get them through your customer journey, which we've talked about so many times the last 2 days, to go either from a micro offer to a low ticket offer to a mid ticket offer to a high ticket offer, if that's what you have. And kind of reiterating what I was trying to get to before, I think a lot of people have it in their head and they think that when we're talking about sales, we're only talking about high ticket or the very final step in your offer stack. And that is absolutely not the case. And when you, I feel like you would agree with me that when you free yourself, like you mentioned earlier, from that heavy weight and you realize that you're just having a conversation with people and selling them on the next step, that's when it becomes so much easier.
Yep. And sales, when it's done well, it's not even like, CTA. I told you, I'm sorry. CYA. No. It's not just in the CTA. Like, you're selling them on a new identity. You're selling them on a bigger part of them. You're selling them on new ideas. It's not just even like download my freebie, as part, and that's part of it. But when we put that sales lens over everything we do in a loving way, that's what brings people through the funnel. And so even within those micro conversions, I would even say there's that sales overlay that even gets them to micro convert. And so that's why content isn't just be consistent and add value. It's so much more than that. It's really helping them understand and see things in a different way and have those moments and see where their gaps are. And, the more you can be that person that helps them go, oh, I never really thought of it that way, the more instant credibility. So anyway, I could go on, but
this is probably a good spot to tell you my not theory, my fact. So I feel I had to have said this to you out loud because this is a sales conversation. So again, this is me giving credit where I heard it from. Courtney Solberg. No, her last name is not Solberg. Anyway, she's an IG specialist. She just had a baby, adorable baby. She said to me, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I actually don't, but
okay. Anyway, so it could have been a year ago. And I heard in one of her trainings, she said, first of all, fact, it takes 7 to 12 engagements for somebody with your content, with you, whatever it is, for somebody to make a decision, right? 7 to 12. Now, how often are you making offers? If you are only making an offer once a week, it will take you 7 to 12 weeks to have a sale. And when I say sale this time, I mean cha-ching. I don't just mean a micro conversion. I mean the cha-ching. So, fact, you need to be making offers every single day. And in this case, when I say offers every day, I mean micro offers count as well, because you're getting them in the pipeline and all that.
Anything that you can take action of some sort.
Have we never had this conversation?
Not so far. It is not ringing a bell, which I'm really surprised. I figured you'd start into it and I would have gone, oh yeah.
Because I try to make a big deal about it. Like, you need to figure out, it doesn't matter if you're posting in a Facebook group every day. It doesn't matter if you're having one-on-one conversations every day. Like, you need to figure out how to make the damn offers, because if you're not making offers, you're not making money. And then we're not in business. We just have a hobby, friends. Right. So tell me, does that bring anything up for you? Like any little tips to figure out for people to start making regular offers more than once a week, more than once a month, every day? How do they get closer to that?
So I was actually just having a conversation with my group, and I absolutely agree. For a lot of people, touch points are very key, right? Like, and I know your friend Courtney said like 7 to 14, but I've even heard now in this, that was like when it was like in the sales world, like, hey, how you doing? Now throw social media into the mix and it's like 10x that, right? So it is all of those. It's a couple of things. making those offers every day and getting really good at speaking to your ideal client. Because I had somebody in my group yesterday, she's like, I think I'm and I love you if you're listening, but it's just such a good example. So just hear me out. She's like, I've been for the last 6 weeks, like loving on my audience and warming them up. And now I feel like I can post, sell, not, whatever that means. Right. And all its facets, and I said, how many of you, raise your hand if you just come across somebody's something, like either it's a real well done reel that speaks to you, or some sort of image, whatever story, more than likely, and you're like, I'm going to that masterclass, boom, they just got you.
It has happened to me, but it's not very often.
It happens to me more than it doesn't, because they say something that makes me go, I want to know more. But that's me. I'm one of those buyers. I want what I want. Let's go. And so what is my point in all of this? My point is just make the offers. The offers you don't make, nobody can take. That is also not mine. And so if you're not out there constantly doing it, because there are those people, your job is to put it in front of them. I don't need warming up. Now, if I'm going to spend 20, 30, whatever, if I'm going to spend obscene amounts of money, I need to know you. I need to know your heart and all of the things. So don't get me wrong, but I like to learn that through the masterclass. I like to learn that through the low ticket offer, right? That's how I do my bidding, to find those people, because I don't consume as much content. I don't frankly have the time to binge somebody's stuff, right? So my point in all of that is, don't feel like you just have to nurture all the time and once a week you can make an offer. Just make it. Back to the whole, let's set ourselves free from what other people think in that judgment and make our mission more important than that. And I might be just the person that's scrolling that your incredible, whatever it is, caught my eye. And now I'm in your world. And so it doesn't take me that long to want to see if I want to be in somebody's world.
Yeah.
Before I click sign up,
That's a fantastic point too. I teach and tell people, you need to figure out how to make offer. There's a million ways to make $1 million. There's a gajillion ways for you to make offers every day. I have it written out somewhere where because my ultimate goal is I want to make 7 offers every single day. 7 offers somewhere. Now, is that all on social media? No, it's not in the same place, multiple places, so that I'm ultimately making a sale every damn day, because doesn't that make you happy? What was my point? Shoot, I went off on a tangent and I forgot where I was going.
Well, maybe it's having to do with my point, where I think people have this thing in their mind, I have to warm up my audience.
Yeah.
I have to wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's an illusion.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a good example. So if I'm making an offer today in my Facebook group, over here on LinkedIn, I'm giving some sort of value. So it's not one or the other, right? If you feel like you need to warm up new people and warm up your audience, of course you probably do. You can do both at the same time. It's taken me a really long time to figure out how that looks and to make it work consistently. And you can do it too, but it's not and or. You're nurturing content, your warm up stuff is not going to make you money. And if you're not giving offers on a regular basis, you're not going to make money regularly either. So you got to do both.
Yeah. And I really do believe, I think especially earlier on, I downloaded more freebies from random things I saw that I'm like, give it to me. Then it was not, let me scroll JKN stuff today and see all that she's doing. It was whatever caught my eye is what got my email.
Yeah.
That's what gets my email, not how many posts did JKN. Oh, she did 2 back-to-back lead magnet posts. I don't know her well. No, the person who had that offer in front of me is the person who got my email. Now, like I said, it's not necessarily the person that gets my credit card right off the bat. Could be for a low ticket, but that at least gets me in their funnel, because that's what the game is. Now I'm in. Now, how quickly can they get my attention to the next thing, thing?
How well can they sell me onto the next step is what you're saying. Listen.
And so if you're hearing anything in what I'm saying, and a big part of what I teach, and actually what really started back years ago, is let me just think through my own, like, how does it work for me?
Yeah.
That's true. And I'm like, I don't have to know somebody and like and trust them to get their lead magnet. They just got to put it out there in a way that I go, oh, I need that.
That's an important, write this down. Here's a writer downer. Don't try to recreate the wheel.
Right.
Look at how you buy shit.
Yes.
And then duplicate that, because nobody's going to be able to explain your process better than you. So nobody's going to be able, you cannot duplicate somebody else's process because it needs to be your own. And you already have the framework.
You already do, and one other I'll drop another nice little tip for your audience, because I get this question a lot from okay, like, how do I get them to the call? Like, we've been talking in the DMs, read these DMs, Jana, tell me like what, and I'm like, put yourself in first off, let's just not be attached. Like, let's just, and then secondly, put yourself in their shoes. What would make the most sense?
What would you say to you?
Right. Like, hey, we've been going back and forth on this. I really feel like I have a lot more I could share with you. How about we hop on a call so that we don't have to do this?
Mm-hmm. Or here's another really good example. You know how you get those DMs that it's obvious that somebody is following the same script that everybody is always following with the DMs trying to get cold leads, right?
Right.
And me personally, if I get a DM that's straight to trying to get me to sign up for a service, I'm like, get out of here. But we know that that's like supposed to be the bro way to do it, right? So then it comes our turn to try and reach out to somebody, and we feel like we need to do it that way, knowing that it makes us icky. So why the fuck would we do it?
No. Rule number one when it comes to life and sales is the golden rule. Do unto others as you want done to you. So if you're not feeling the bait and switch, hard press, cold, spammy DM, it's probably not going to be your strategy.
Do not do it, even if somebody told you to do it. If you don't like it,
don't do it. Free. If it feels icky, if it feels misaligned, if it feels like, then that's not your way. So long as it's not fear, because some stuff we have to undercome. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to learn how to ask for the business. You have to learn how to help people and communicate, through the sales process. But that does not mean you have to compromise your integrity or your values or do things that you wouldn't want done to you. That's not aligned. So that's not going to work energetically or like physically.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I had to learn. And I still struggle with that. Like, if I get attached to the results, if I feel like I'm in a crunch to make a goal, in my soul, I feel like I need to do some of that bro stuff. I'm like, stop. Mm-hmm. It's not going to help. You're going to feel terrible about it. Don't even entertain that thought. It's not going to solve the problem. So,
right.
Okay. We are running out of time. My next speaker is going to be here in just a couple of, there he is. He must have known I was thinking of him. But tell us, I told everybody while you were having your tech issues that you had a workshop coming up. And I want you to tell them a little bit about that workshop that's next week. And we'll put the link in the chat in the Facebook group.
Cool. Thank you. So we've been talking about some about high ticket. I know this has been a lot about low ticket, but I want to call forth people. If you felt like Maybe you've created a high ticket offer before and it just didn't really convert. It doesn't convert at the level you would like, or you've been in low ticket for a while and you're like, I want to do this high ticket thing, right? I'm ready to like really serve at that level. Or if you have been hustling and you're ready to like up level your business, right? It's time to really put it on the map in a big way. I have a high ticket workshop where I'm going to show you how to create your most aligned and highest converting high ticket offer. So it's really for anybody who's feeling that call to, I want this to be a little bit easier. I want to work with less people. I don't have a giant audience. I'd rather close one person a month than have to close 100 or 200, and learn how to create an offer that your clients really want and are invested and will pay for. So we're going to spend, if you're in VIP, which I highly recommend, you get to be in the Zoom room with me. So we get to like interact and I get to ask, get feedback and you guys get to ask questions. And then, so that's 5 hours on Tuesday. So it starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time for VIPs in the Zoom room. And then we're going to stream in the Facebook group for general admission, which is a free ticket. But if any of this is speaking to you, if you're like, I do want to see what this high ticket offer thing is all about, come be in the Zoom room. It's $47 for 5 hours. Okay. And you're going to get so much more of the energy and the transformation in there. Not to say you wouldn't in the Facebook group, but we all know I personally wouldn't want to watch a 5 hour or a 4 hour live stream and from a Facebook group. That's just me though.
We got an amazing strategy and I'm going to implement this for the next Funnels to Fortune event next month. But CT gave me this amazing thing to
love her.
Yeah, right. This amazing strategy to replays are stupid. No, I don't watch replays.
Nobody does.
People say they want the replays, but very few people watch them. And then there are some people who will go watch the replays.
A couple. True.
I know you people are there too, but for the majority of people,
good for you too. Way to follow through.
Yeah, way to follow through. But this strategy is a way to create like not a synopsis, but kind of like break everything down, give you just the raw stuff, and then the actionable steps that you can take. So yeah, that's something that we learned yesterday. You should go watch that, Jana.
We'll have to talk about it later because I did not pick up what you were laying down at all. I don't know if it's because I zoned out for like 2 seconds or what, but I heard, I don't know.
It's amazing. If you
say it's good, and I know you well enough to know if you say it's good, then I need to know more.
Yeah. If you do live events, this is a strategy you need to implement in the next event. So yeah. But I know we have to wrap. Well, I put this in the comments. So I forgot that I have an affiliate link for that workshop so that Jana knows I sent people to her. But I have to go find that link. So if you see the comment is the newest comment in the chat, reply so that I send you the link directly. But I will put the link to the workshop after or when I get to a spot that I can go find it because it's in my email somewhere. So I just want to.
That sounds awesome. I hope you all will join us. We're really going to go deep and I'm going to show you exactly what you want to put in there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys then. Thank you as always.
Hopefully you'll come back again. We're going to do this again probably through the rest of the year. So we talk sales. Sales need to be talked about all the time. So
okay. Well, I'm here for it. Thank you, love. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we're going to move into our next strategy. And if you've been paying attention yesterday, a lot of yesterday, but some today, we talked about strategies staying top of mind. We talked about ways to create offers. We haven't so much talked about adding bonuses to your offers, but we're going to talk about that now. Incentive marketing is a big deal. And I've been really excited about this session. First of all, it's weird because my friend Ali is a dude. He's the only guy that I invited today. So that should tell you a lot about him. He is an amazing trainer. We've worked together on several projects. In fact, I think he's going to share a little bit about project that we're currently working on. Everybody knows about my travel company, so we're going to talk about that some, but he's going to share a specific side project that includes that. This guy has taught me a lot. So I'm really excited for him to teach you a lot. It's a different way. You've heard me talk about incentive marketing. You've heard me talk about adding bonuses and making your offers no-brainers. So this is a tool, a different way to hear and learn these things. So let me bring him up. What's up, Ollie?
What's up, Rockstar? How you doing today?
Fantastic. I see that your name is not your name, so I'm
gonna hook it up.
I should do it correctly. This is Ali Madawi. Like I said, we've worked together 4 years on multiple projects. We've made a lot of money together. We've made a lot of friends together. We've changed a lot of lives together. And I can't wait for you to hear from him, because it's, like I said, it's just a different way that you've heard me talk about some things. So did you decide that you're just gonna train and do the thing?
Yo, I got it. I train and do the thing, just like you said.
Because that means that I can sit back in my chair and I can turn off my camera,
relax, and enjoy the show.
Exactly. That's what I like, because it's the end of the day. And I still am doing, guys, if you're watching this, hopefully you all have, oh, that's cool. My husband has a Cricut. He made himself a new shirt for the Pride Parade tomorrow. But Fix My Funnel. Oh, I froze. There I am. The Fix My Funnel workshop is going to start in like 45 minutes. So I'm going to come back. We're going to fix our funnels, landing pages, emails, automations, all the things. And we're going to have some fun. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Make sure you drop your comments in the chat, because I'll make sure that he gets all of your questions answered as well. It's all you, man.
Let's rock and roll. Hey, everybody. Ali Madawi in here. Really, really excited. And thank you, JKN, for giving me the opportunity, the only JKN that is, to share a little bit with you. We're going to spend probably a little short than 30 minutes to go over everything that I believe is extremely relevant and necessary if you are in business today. I know this is broadcasted and it's going to be recorded as well. And whether you are able to chat and engage or not, I highly recommend that you take a lot of notes, and feel free to engage with us as well. I definitely love an engaging audience, and I believe you'll understand why. So first and foremost, the concept of incentive-based marketing is what I'm going to be covering for you. And it's something that has changed my life. I've been in business for 18 years and I've done okay for myself. But ever since I got introduced to the concept or the idea or the strategy of incentive-based marketing, I elevated my business. I've created a differentiator, if you will. I've been able to put together something that isolated me from the rest. And that's what you really, really want. If you want to stand out when it comes to business development, when it comes to creating real results, you should consider incentive-based marketing. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact you are participating in incentive-based marketing. You just might not be using it to monetize. And here's what I mean. Think about when you went to the mall and you saw a buy one, get one free. Did it motivate you and inspire you to buy that item or more of it? When you got a coupon at home, did it get you to get out of the house and go purchase an item? When you heard get a $5 gift card if you buy $100, did that motivate you? When the door knocker knocked on your door and said that we're giving away tablets just for installing solar, did that motivate you? See, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. The truth of the matter is, if it weren't for incentive-based marketing, most of us would not spend the money on the things that we really shouldn't be spending money on, right? And we justify it later on with logic. Oh my God, it was buy one, get one free, until we find out that that very same item that we bought cost maybe 1,000% less. It was a markup. So in reality, you pay for both 10 times more than you should have. But the idea, the justification in your mindset that I got a deal led you to spend money. And that leads us to, why aren't you using incentive-based marketing? Most people say, I don't know where to begin. Most people say, I don't know how to start. I usually advise it's not about what, it's about who. In other words, who do you serve? Who do you work with? Who is your ideal client avatar, or ICA? See, when I identify who is my ideal client avatar, who is that appropriate market or the genre of group that I want to deal with. Is it an entrepreneurial community? Is it a family-oriented community? Is it women empowerment community? Is it man's empowerment community? Is it a spiritual community? Whatever that space that I want to operate within, I have to really have a clear understanding. And the best way that I can tell you do so, 3 questions you have to ask and answer clearly, not just vaguely, not generally, but actually specifically. Number 1 is, who do you help? I gotta identify, who do I help? Is it teachers? Is it speakers? Is it coaches? Is it mentors? Is it network marketers? Is it traditional business owners? Is it C-level, C-suite? Is it what? Who do you help? And you really got to take a piece of paper and pen and itemize little by little, small pieces on exactly the whole components. Immediately after, you got to identify, how do you help them? So we talked about who do you help. Then you got to identify, how do you help them? What do I have to identify? How do I help them? Well, again, it's very, very simple. See, one, I identify the tool. Like, is it through networking events? Is it through coaching? Is it through business development? Is it through funnels? Is it through social media assets? Is it through one-on-one coaching? Whatever that tool, right? That is going to give me an understanding, again, of my ICA, or my ideal client avatar. Then the last piece that you need to answer is simply, what are the results that I am willing to create? So we talked about, who do you help, how do you help them, and the results that you create. Those 3 items should give you exactly the ideal client avatar. Now, once I identify my ideal client avatar, it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit simpler for me to understand what is that actual incentive that I am going to provide. So again, understand the behavior and the motivation, and you'll be able to give. I'll give you an example. In my case, I understand that in network marketing or affiliate marketing, cash moves everything, right? The ICA is excited about the commission, or an add-on bonus, or an extra bonus, if you will, an extra little bit of cash. When you provide that individual an opportunity, hey, if by the next 48 hours, enroll 3 more customers, I'm going to double your commissions. That individual will just go and start running, because I understand what motivates that audience, right? Or let's say, again, we have a small portion of a solar operation as well. And we understand that when you, give the solar home buyer or person who's getting solar the ability to get a security system for free, hey, no out of pocket, and hey, we'll also do an insurance evaluation and give you a tablet on top of that. We know what is important, right? So you need to identify what is important as far as your ICA from behavior and motivation, right? Then you got to understand the type of the incentive. Is it discounts? Is it gift cards? Is it BOGOs, buy one, get one free? Is it access, right? Hey, we'll upgrade your access to the VIP instead of just general admission. Is it, one of the things that we do for our clients is, hey, we'll feature you on a press release and just blast you to all the major publishers all around the world. And I can go on and on and on and on. When you know the different ways, and just don't be cheap or cheesy about it. What I mean by that, most people go in full to, let me do mugs, let me do t-shirts, let me do bracelets, let me do pens. While those are cool, they are not incentives. They're just a thing that I'm going to throw in my drawer somewhere, a mug that I'm going to put in my cabinet somewhere, a shirt that I'm going to wear whenever I'm cutting grass. So the incentive should be so enticing, so motivating, and you could be creative enough that it does not cost you money. It might cost you sweat equity. Like, hey, I'll give an exclusive add-on coaching session if you buy this package that is group coaching, or whatever it may be, right? In our case, Jennifer and I and a few of our partners, we are part of a travel community, right? And one of the things that we have is we give away vacation incentives, like truly give away a 7-night, 8-day trip anywhere around the world. And the individual just has to pay their taxes and an activation fee. It sounds like an appealing thing, right? Anywhere from $1,200 to $5,500 trips are like as little as $120 or $500 maximum for the whole 7 nights, 8 days, right? Now think about that when you just hear that. Like, did he just say 7 nights, 8 days, and instead of paying $5,500, I'll pay $500? Yes, that's just taxes, no timeshare or anything like that. That sounds like exciting. Now, if I were to tell you right now, if you do business with us today, if I tell you right now, if you purchase a product with us today, I'll include a vacation. See, for many of our clients that are on retainers, we say, if you do business with us every 90 days, we'll send you and the whole staff on vacations. Think about that for a second. I'll send you and the whole staff on vacations. That sounds like a crazy idea, right? Or if we have an individual one-on-one coaching client, for example, and we've had many of them in the past, we would say something like, hey, every 90 days that your retainer is still active with us, we'll send you and the missus to another honeymoon anywhere you want around the world. Now, depending on that retainer, we may even cover those taxes, the $120 to $500. That is something that is exciting, right? So that's called incentive-based marketing, something you must have. And here is why. Would you agree with me? Everyone in the marketplace right now is a coach, a guru. Everyone has something to sell. I mean, you go to Facebook right now, it's like you're on eBay. You go to Instagram, you're on old school Craigslist. Every single video and picture is an ad, an ad, an ad, an ad, an ad. So how do you stand out? Or how do you keep up? How do you sustain those efforts every single day? How much money do I have to keep on paying? I mean, the average advertisement right now, if you do Facebook ads, it costs about $7 per engagement. That's per somebody saying learn more. They're not even buying yet. So how am I going to keep up with the marketplace? And Meta just introduced and announced that they're going to have 3 new packages for Instagram. The highest, it's between $50 to $500 to $350 a month. And if you don't have those active packages, you will not make it anywhere. You will not be featured. You will not be shown. So how do I keep up? Now I got to pay $350 a month to Instagram in order for me to be shown and be relevant. Well, there's already 4 million people in Instagram. How many of them are going to spend $350? I mean, what are the chances that hundreds of thousands are going to do that? I'll be one of them. See, the point being is that if you don't have something that allows you to stand out and bring people to you, instead of you just jumping in the same pool where everybody is in and everybody's saying the same thing, even if you think that your message is unique, even if you think that your product is unique, nobody cares. And the reason I'm telling you that is because the masses, the majority, are looking at you and saying, heard that, seen that. Yep, I'm not looking at how valuable you are. I'm going to YouTube and see if I can find it for free. I'm going to Google and see if I can find it for less. There's a reason why 99% of the people that you know go to Timo or whatever other websites where they buy knockoffs. Instead of buying Gucci's, they get Gucci's. And the reason is you're not competing with other entrepreneurs. See, true entrepreneurs collaborate. You are competing with ignorance. You are competing with people who think they got it figured out, and you wonder why 99% of the people don't have it figured out, or they're not even making a dime ever in their career in entrepreneurship. So don't be that guy or that gal who tries to do it the cheap way and ends up finding themselves with crumbs. Make sure that you have a business strategy, and if you need help with that, we got you covered. But definitely make sure that you understand the right type of incentive for your audience. Then it comes down to designing an effective incentive. See, the thing that we do, and I'm excited or collaborate with Jennifer, whether we use simplified duplicable systems like Linktree for affiliates, whether we actually create funnels, whether we use GLH, Go High Level, or GHL, Go High Level, or any other platforms, there is a different way that you can communicate with different individuals. And I know that coming up, there is a workshop for all things funnels. You definitely want to make sure that you understand how to deliver the information. Let me explain. See, we do a lot of business overseas, especially in Africa. And one of the things that is limited in Africa, and I was born and raised in Morocco, Northwest Africa, so I know this firsthand, the data, internet data is very, very limited, meaning you get a certain amount allotted and you got to manage it. Otherwise, when it's completely used, you're out. Like you're using like very, very, very slow internet that you can't consume. So if you don't know how to deliver that message and all you're doing is downloadable Vimeo videos all the time or live Zooms all the time, what ends up happening is that you start good, but then you start losing your audience. And if you're losing your audience, you got to wonder, why are the numbers plummeted? Well, they are because you didn't understand and comprehend that you keep on sending all things that are high data usage, and you're consuming most people's internet. And then they are like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother for the rest of the week. Now you're losing all consumers. So the alternative may be actually a copy email where the person can read it just one time instead of consuming all of their data. The alternative may be a free conference call, old school. The alternative may be many other things. So you got to make sure that you identify and understand what is the best way for me to deliver and custom create this message to the right audience. I know that I personally, just like JK, I don't watch replays. I just don't. And I don't watch anything that is more than 20 minutes. I mean, and if it is 20 minutes, I'll do speed 2 times so I can go through 10 minutes through the content and the information itself. So you got to make sure that you understand exactly how to design just the proper way of incentive-based marketing. What is that system of deliverable itself? Is it flyers in the mail? Yeah, is it text messages? What is the best way that I can deliver that information? And it does make a difference. And it goes back to your ideal client avatar. If you don't understand the ICA, you're going to find yourself throwing a piece of cheese against the wall and hoping that it sticks. And respectfully, that is not entrepreneurship. That is hit the lottery and hopefully it works out. Entrepreneurship is to take the risk and the financial burden to invest and initiate a project with the hope. Single secret word there. Hope, not guaranteed, that you will make a profit and create impact. That is true entrepreneurship. So if you are not willing to make an investment, if you are not willing to take on the burden of creating something, you don't deserve the profit. And the universe will always say, your wish is my command. You're saying, let's go cheap. Cheap revenue will be too. You're saying, let's do it for free. Free work will be done forever, meaning no money is going to be coming in. See, however you treat your business is going to treat you. That's just the way it works. This is why 1% of the world's population in entrepreneurship too are making it past the 6-figure or 7-figure mark. 99% of the people are never going to make it. Not because they don't have what it takes. They are not willing to do what it takes. And before anybody hates me or hates on me or starts saying this guy is full of himself, this guy was born and raised in a third world country in Morocco, Northwest Africa. This guy was homeless for 3 years. This guy was a busboy and a dishwasher 22 years ago. All he said was, me no English. And this guy with incentive-based marketing was able to do so many great things with JKN and our partners in 5 continents. $2 billion of sales thus far and counting. 2 books. Podcasting, and multiple businesses that are running and operating simultaneously. Now, I might be bragging a little bit there. But the point being is understand that there is a reason why you will succeed. And one of the biggest secret of any successful company is incentive-based marketing. Let me even bring this home and drive it for you so you really know what I mean. Have you ever heard of a little tiny company called T-Mobile? See, they have this thing called T-Mobile Tuesdays. And on T-Mobile Tuesdays, for all of their customers that they still have, they accumulate rewards that they can use anything on the marketplace in T-Mobile Tuesday. And you're like, man, I'm getting all this free money. No. You're paying a bill and you're paying for a cell phone that you're leasing every single month. And they're keeping you spending by giving you a little bit here and there of rewards that makes you feel excited. Same exact thing for McDonald's. You know, when McDonald's do their Monopoly McDonald's promo, they increase their overall sales by 6% the one day they do Monopoly promos. You know, those little stickers where there's free French fries, free soda, free this, sometimes cash. Yeah. That increases McDonald's sales by 6%. And I don't know if you know, a multi-hecta-billion-dollar company like McDonald's, to do 6% higher increase in one day, that is big profit. And I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. This is the only way that you can stand out and never have to compete. Because whenever there's someone next to me that talks about anything that we offer, and I'm sitting on the same table and I say, hey, well, I'll wait until you guys are done. Okay, he's going to give you a discount. Great. What else? Okay, great. Well, here's what I will do for you, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Instead of going with ABC Solar Company, actually, I would love to give you the best deal possible. And on top of that, as soon as we install, I'd love to send the both of you on a trip for 2 on the house. We'll take care of your taxes for you. All inclusive, 2 nights, 3 days, Dominican Republic. Food and drinks and lodging included. Do you think I won that business if I tell Mr. and Mrs. Smith that I'm about to renew their vows? Yeah, I think I would. And it would cost me $120, but it would cost them an exciting lifetime experience. They'll brag about it forever. And when I say they'll brag about it forever, yeah, they're going to be taking reels and posts and go all over the internet and tell everybody, thank you, Ali. Thank you, Ali. What a great trip. And then you go on Google and realize that normally that's $2,000, $3,000. And they'll say, how'd you get yourself that trip? I looked, it's $3,000. You realize, yeah, I got a guy. His name is Ali. Now, I don't personally say solar, but, you know, we're partnered up in a solar company. Anyways, let me keep going here. You got to have measuring implemented unit of measurements of the success of the incentive. Let me explain. See, sometimes making something available all the time or as a norm gets taken for granted. See, one of the things that we do in the affiliate model, which I love, is, you know, you can go back to cash. Cash is what makes everybody excited, right? So I may do a promo of, hey, we're going to double commissions for a limited period of time, and it's going to drive the sales up, right? But the moment I see it plateauing, I'm like, hey, last 2 days, and then we're going to close that promotion. And then you're going to see a major jump and then close it. And the reason you want to close it, you got to let it, again, keep riding on that momentum for a couple of weeks for the new business that came in, the new onboardings that take parts, the new X, Y, Z that happen afterwards. And then in about 2 months, if you see that you're plateauing on the low, hey guys, we're excited to announce that we're bringing back that special promo. Again, and I'll tell you, if you are a snickerhead like my brother-in-law, there are these apps, right? StockX and, you know, Yeezy and all these different applications. And they literally drop every Friday. They'll do under $100 fines, or they do buy one, get one half off, or rare Jordans for X amount of dollar amounts, or whatever the case may be. So they don't do it all the time. They bring it and they take it away. They bring it and they take it away. Just like algorithms, they keep you engaged and coming back for more, or anticipating, I'm going to wait. Okay, here's a promo. They're probably going to take it away in 2 days. Let me take advantage. So you got to make sure that you have a unit of measurement to know when to introduce an incentive and when to take it away as well. So it's not taken for granted. Make sure that you use case studies. I'll tell you the very first incentive that has launched my coaching and business development career. Thank God now we consult for Fortune 100 companies, but there's at the very, very beginning in 2015, there was a mentor of mine who goes like, well, what's your goal? I'm like, man, I want to have 20 customers, you know, off the bat. He's like, what are you trying to charge? I'm like, I don't know, $2,000 maybe. So here's what he says. He goes like, okay, what I want you to do for the next 30 days is find 20 ideal customer avatars and give them 30 days for free of business. I was like, say what now? He's like, give them 30 days for free. I was like, I just said I want to have 30 customers. He goes like, I understand. Just give it to them for free. He's like, however, when that 30 days is over, here is what your expectation agreement from the get. If they're going to take advantage, here's one, they have to commit and do the right activity with you every single week. Number two, they have to give you a killer testimony whenever that 30 days is done. Last but not least, if they like what they see, would they give you the opportunity to do business with you? Would you give them an offer that is so salivating and they already experienced you? You should have one or two who will consider it. Well, what do you think happened? Not only I got 30 amazing testimonials, which I came off the gut like an amazing superhero. Like, man, this guy is helping so many people. One testimony after the other, one testimony after the other. But then those very same individuals fell in love and got so addicted to the value that was given. So when I said, hey, the 30 days is over, but if you want to continue, it's $2,000, I had half of those individuals, a little more than half, who actually went ahead and did business with us. And I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe this is actually happening. And those testimonials just brought us so many more customers and clientele and business. What did we do? Incentivize those individuals by giving first and then receiving after. Remember, the definition of an entrepreneur, right, is to take the risk and the financial burden, put it out first, with the hope that there will be a profit and true impact. Now, I would love to know, what are you doing for the marketplace? Because you think, oh, I'm going to give away, a sample of my product. Not good enough. Not good enough. You got to give something that is, Les Brown says it best. Les Brown says, I don't aim to satisfy my customers. I aim to wow them. What are you doing today that is wowing your customers? All right. Here's the last piece. You want to make sure that your incentive is not cheesy and gimmicky. You want to make sure it's not a timeshare feel. You ever go to, the mall and you see the little sticker thing that says you can win this car, just put your first name, last name, and email, and you may win. And next thing you know, you're getting 30 phone calls a day about like, hey, you've been selected for the car. We just need you to come in and verify your information and see if you are the official winner. And then you drive for 45 minutes to an hour, and then you find yourself in a timeshare presentation for Carnival cruises or whatever it may be. And you're like, oh my God, this is so annoying. Next thing you know, you're being bombarded for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then emails to follow. See, what you did was sell your information for free, and then they're just passing them on to another platform and another platform and another platform. That's a gimmick that makes a lot of people disappointed. Make sure that it's not cheesy, that it sounds too good to be true. So in our case, when we're giving away our vacations, we don't say, you're going to get a free vacation. I give you my value first. And if you are saying, I'm about 90% there, man, I think I'm ready to go, but I got to do some homework. Here's what I'm going to say. Well, listen, it's Friday, and I've never had anybody come back to me after the weekend and say, okay, I thought about it. I'm ready to go. I got to follow up. So here's what I'll tell you. If we decide and we sign on this and we start on Monday, I will also include a 7-night ADC. I closed you first with the value, and then I wowed you with the vacation. That is what I mean by don't be gimmicky and don't be cheesy. You want to make sure that you truly have value in your offer. The incentive is just an add-on. If you think the incentive is the main reason why someone is going to do business with you, that means that your business has zero value. So please, please, please do not rob yourself. Do not put yourself in a position where you now have no choice or no ability by spending money on people. That's not what I'm telling you, right? Okay. The other thing is make sure that your website, if there is an incentive, is not all about the incentive, like, free webinar or free whatever it may be. If that's the main thing that is captivating the attendant, and unless it's a valuable offer, that's a call to action from another event or a website, that's different. But if your website just normally says, take our free assessment and win $200, again, it may be the mindset goes to too good to be true, and you're going to attract the wrong people. What I mean by that, you're going to attract somebody who just wants the $200 and does not care about your business. Next thing you know, you're just giving away stuff with no merit, with no quality individuals. I want to work with quality. I don't want to just yield and attract quantity. So I cannot stress this enough. You must. You have to. It's not a should thing. It is a must thing in order for you to be able to succeed at the level that you wish for and the level that you desire. Now, for anybody that may have any question, of course, as I've mentioned, just make sure you drop it right on the chat. But also for anybody who needs help with anything business development or anything identifying how to get that ideal customer avatar or ideal client avatar, understand that we are available. I work personally, partnered up with Jennifer Kempfer Norris, aka the only JKN, in many, many different areas. But I'd love to give everybody, and if it's okay with you, Jennifer, here's the incentive. Ready? A 30-minute mastermind strategy session that we can talk about how you can implement an incentive-based marketing system. Maybe it is our travel platform and all the vacations that we give away. Maybe it is something else that you have on the outside. But my giveaway to you is simply a 30-minute mastermind strategy that I believe that will gift you everything that you desire, everything that you need in order for you to identify. And what I'm going to share with you has helped me personally to develop and create businesses in literally 5 different continents, to manage, consult, take even 2 companies public. So there's nothing that I will hold back. I don't hoard information. And I'll provide my link directly to Miss JKN, and she can definitely pass it on to you. Any questions that we may have, or Miss JKN, if there's any area that I got to add on, focus on, and share with our peeps, I would love to see if I can take a jab. But any questions anybody may have, definitely, if you want to drop it in the chat, I am all ears to see if I can help in any way, shape, and form. Love. Love all the chats, all the comments. I love what I'm seeing. All right, talk to me.
This is fantastic, of course, because I sat here and took a little breather.
You are welcome.
Yeah, because you just, all of the things that you say, I mean, we've done the same, not the same, but kind of the same. We've talked about vacation.
We've been at it since early 2019, JK.
Well, me longer than that. So
yeah, well, you, yes, absolutely.
It's amazing to hear somebody else teach the things that I've built the foundations for and do it at such a different, like, it's just different. I love that it's so good, and it's a different way to hear it. So let me ask you a few questions, and then, because I can't, math is hard, a few minutes, less than 10, 11, no, I don't know, in a few minutes, 3:15, we're gonna jump to Zoom to do fix my funnel workshop. But tell us some of your experiences with the incentives. And first, like, you've used some of the vacation offers.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, big time. Yeah. So well, let me tell you a business story, and then I can tell you about the experiences that we've had as well. So in March 16, 17, and 18 that just passed, I had an event in Florida, in Orlando, Florida. And I've given away 150 plus vacation incentives. And it was in exchange for you attending an event. And the tickets were $300. So if you do the math, 150 times 300, that's a nice $45,000 walking into the event. We're not saying like this is walking into the event. Now, the event costs a little more than $30,000. So paid, you're just like, I mean, you've done plenty of events. You know how awesome it is when you can just focus on the event and not the stress of the bills that come along with it. At the same exact time, from that point forward, whatever sells, I don't care if it's a book for $20 or I don't care if it's high ticket, profit, straight up profit. So definitely it has been a game changer. And I close business repeatedly with vacation incentives. I incentivize CEOs and all C-level. Hey, whenever you're ready to go for travel, let me know. In terms of prospecting, whenever I see any, she said yes, picture, right? Couples celebrating that they're engaged. I send a private message. Hey, let me know whenever you're ready to go on a honeymoon. I would like to take care of your stay for you. And I get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's a WTF. We're keeping it PG-13. Are you serious?
Have you met me?
I get the, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. Like, how is this possible? I'm like, whenever you're ready, just let me know and I'll show you how it's possible. But not only, even if we might not talk about business, do you understand how much of a hero I look to that person for even approaching them about that? So I'm by default put in a positive side of things. Now, from a personal perspective, I mean, whether it's a staycation in PA in the Wolf Lodge, indoor water park, or whether going overseas to Mexico or anywhere for that matter, it's an incredible experience. This is not...
Mexico's not overseas, right?
Mexico is outside the country. Well, it's the immigrant side of me. No. Let me have my English. Come on. You just met me yesterday. listen, I don't say error and trial. I say trial and error. Is it trial and error? Which one? Which goes first?
It is trial and error. Good job.
Okay, so I was corrected by Christina Perry a long time ago. I usually say error and trial. You know, they're like, you have to try and then you make the mistake. You don't make the error and then you try it.
You know what else? Ollie had never heard. I teach Ollie some English. He had never
Yes.
heard the phrase until the fat lady sings.
I still don't get it. Just so you know, I don't understand it. Why are we picking on the fat lady? Let her just. What if she doesn't want to sing?
I think I understand. I think it has something to do with opera and like I don't know. Anyway, it's a thing.
I can keep going about all those things. I hear directly from the horse's mouth. Show me this horse that speaks, and why would I put my face in his mouth? Makes no sense. But I feel like I'm going to do a whole training on all these.
Yeah, that'd be entertaining.
But yes, it's not overseas. It's down under. It's on the south.
That's Australia.
Let me have it. Let me be. Let me be. English kicks in every now and then.
Yeah, you say that to me all the time. Anyway, you were talking about you've gone to Mexico with them as well. You've used one of the Mexico certificates, yeah, and those are pretty amazing because
especially when you realize that you are in the number 1 Mexico resort and the number 5 in the world, and you're like, this cannot be $300 to $500. It's impossible. Not per night, total. It's impossible. Which is pretty exciting. And as you know, we have a global community right now that is taking advantage of these, and we're the first to do it on a blockchain. So it's always good when you are the first on anything.
Yeah, and because that project is the first of its kind, to access the certificates through that project is it's a much more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a steal of a deal. Like, our program is already freaking amazing and a no-brainer once you understand it. But through that project, it's like, what? But before we go, will you please explain how it is possible that we can give away these vacations?
Yeah. So if you think about it, if it costs $4,000 for 7 nights, 8 days in Mexico, for example, or anywhere around the world, the average Joe and Joanne can afford $5,000 just for the actual room in the resort itself. It's just it's not an everyday thing. Then you got to pay for flights. Then you got to pay for your food. Then you got to get transportation. So it may end up being a $10,000 trip for a family. And that's why most people don't have those experiences. Now, am I frozen or are you frozen?
No, you're good. You're back. You're back.
Okay. So with these vacations, how is it a win-win? So the resort, because of the dollar amount that's expensive, usually have between 20, 30, maybe even 40% in some cases of their rooms that are just empty. So it's a loss on the resort. So what do? I say, hey, resort, Jennifer would like to travel, but Jennifer does not want to spend $4,000. So that room that's empty, Jennifer is going to pay for her taxes, $200, $300, $400, $500, whatever it may be, for the total. So it's not a loss on you, dear resort. But here's the thing. Jennifer is going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Jennifer may have a couple of cocktails. Jennifer may do parasailing, jet ski, and Jennifer may go to karaoke night. She's going to do all these there. She's going to go to the gift shops. So now the resort is going to say, all right, so this room was going to be empty anyways. But if Jennifer is going to cover her taxes, so it's not on me, and then she's spending money everywhere else, okay, it's a win for me as a resort. It's a win for Jennifer. And then by default, I look like a hero for the resort. I look like a hero for Jennifer. And then the resort wants me to send more people. And Jennifer brags about me on social media and tells everybody how she is happy and excited about her trip. So that is how that's possible. So it's not again, there is the timeshares approach, which is terrible. We hate timeshares. We don't do timeshares. We'll never do timeshares. But it's creating a win-win-win for everybody involved. And this is the best way that's possible. And for those who say, well, why do I have to pay taxes? Just like when you win a lottery, you got to pay taxes. Just like you win a car, you got to pay taxes. So same exact thing in here. It's just if you have the means and you want to cover the taxes for the receiving party of the incentive, well, you can do that if you want to be nice. And I've done it before.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that is one thing I wanted to come back to. You had mentioned that you have covered those taxes and fees for some of your clients. And if you're doing high ticket sales offers, then that is a fantastic thing that you can do. It's just a small,
Absolutely. I mean, if
but
I'm
if
charging
you're,
somebody $5,000 a month on retainers,
yeah,
that's $15,000 3 months. I will gladly spend $500 on you every 3 months.
yeah, I would tell you use incentives to sell your low ticket offers, but don't cover the taxes and fees for high
Yes.
ticket offers.
Yes.
Because that doesn't make sense. But okay, this has been so fantastic. I love it. I hope you'll come back to one of the future. It's funnels to fortunes. I don't know why it's hard for me to say out loud. But if you have any questions, I put the link for you to spend some time with Ali in the comment. You can send me DMs as well. If you want to hear about this super secret, it's not super secret, but it is kind of super secret, because here's the breakdown here. Like, we work together in this project, but my job is to make sure that people hear the about the travel company, and his job is so people hear about the project.
Yes.
The project is a steal of a deal. So if you want to know more about that and how you can use vacation incentives for the least monthly, not even monthly, for the least
There's
investment.
no monthly. Yeah. There's no monthly. We do one-time investments and enjoy it for lifetime access. And Jennifer, I put in the private chat for you my actual Calendly. If you want to provide it out there, I'd love nothing more but to actually assist the individual with the best strategy towards incentive-based marketing, leveraging our platform as well. And no obligations for anyone. See, that's called incentive-based marketing. I give you a freebie for 30 minutes. Meet with me. You can pick my brain all you want. That's the incentive, with the hope that you're going to be like, dude, this was amazing. How can we collaborate? And then I can show you how we can collaborate.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. You should have the link to the Fix My Funnel, the Zoom link to that workshop, so that everybody can come in, hop in and out. And we're going to hop over there now. Ali, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much. And I will hopefully see everybody else in just a minute.
See ya.
Bye-bye.